We're good to go. We are live.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone out there, and welcome to the morning show. Uh, and today we will be talking gun control to start. Um, I'm gonna let Kevin take lead on this conversation.
Is Andrea showing up?
I thought they were. We'll give them some time.
Just send the info.
Um,
Taking the opposite view,
Well,
or just doing whatever.
I think, yeah, I don't know. That was getting complicated to figure out. I think we should just discuss it again in a less.
Okay, I'll just say whatever. Okay.
Yeah. And here, microphone off.
My my view on the Second Amendment is what it's always been. It should be for basic hunting, but it's not hunting protection. That sounds fair, but all the rights are not without limits. So that does include regulation on guns. Um, George Bush II did have the opportunity to um, outlaw automatic weapons, I believe it was, and he did not. Um, so that could come up again. We so there should be limitations on many things. Um,
One thing is Canada, they have that gun control law to where you can't own you cannot own a gun for purposes of protection in particular. You can be a collector, a hunter, or a person who does target practice. And actually, a few days ago, they were talking about doing a door to door gun confiscation. Um, that would be quite interesting. That's something I haven't heard of. Um, how do you guys think that would work?
That is tyranny. That is the first steps that Nazi Germany took when they seized power. The Weimar Republic had insisted on registering every single firearm that was owned across the country. So they knew exactly where to go. They knew exactly who owned what. And they just went and took them. When um, the Nazis uh, took over France, France had laws requiring strict gun registries. And the Nazis just looked at those and went and took them. Um, a disarmed populace is um, a well controlled, yeah, easier to control, well controlled. It vastly limited the ability of the French resistance to effectively resist. You know, all they had was what they managed to hide away, which is why firearm registries are strictly prohibited by law. Um, U.S. law, the Brady Act, 1993, and the Gun Owner uh, Protection Act, 1986, I believe, both expressly forbid the federal government from creating a firearm registry. Um, so that, and to address the point that George W. Bush, right? When you said the second, was it W?
Yeah, Georgia.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that he had the opportunity to ban automatic weapons and he didn't. Automatic weapons were already banned for civilian ownership. New firearms were prohibited. You can't buy them new unless you are a level three um, uh, FFL trader, federal firearms license, which is extremely strictly controlled by the government. They are basically only allowed to um, sell and to collectors and um, w yeah, spare parts, um, or all only the automatic firearms that had been manufactured prior to the Federal Firearms Act in 1986, which grandfathered in whatever automatic weapons had already been owned, had already been in circulation. They're like, okay, we're not going to take those away, but you can't build any new ones, period. Um, any old ones that are owned had to be registered. They're already registered, controlled. In order to buy one of those grandfathered in um, firearms, you have to go through the ATF and fill out Form 4 ATF, which is an extensive background check. And the serial number, registered serial number of that firearm gets tied to you after firing that Form 4 ATF. So all automatic weapons, all legal automatic weapons in this country are already registered and owned, and no new ones have ever been produced since 1986. Any automatic weapons um, produced since then had been so illicitly, illegally. So it's already illegal, automatic weapons. Um,
Didn't know
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Um, Actually, I think here automatic weapons are illegal, but I don't think that's everywhere, right? Hey, Andrea.
No, it's federally, all across the entire country. It's
Nice.
a federal ban. But there's a
no,
lot of people who, you know, make the little switch, the internal guts that can turn firearms into automatic weapons. Um, but those are illegal, as illegal as the entire automatic weapon is. There were parts. They were called drop-in auto sears. They were sold as
Pieces to repair a gun.
bottle openers, euphemistically sold as bottle openers. But this bottle opener had geometry such that if you take it and you stick it up into the internal trigger group of an AR-15, when you close the assembly and everything, you can pull the trigger and it will fire automatic. But when the Federal Firearms Act was enacted, those drop-in auto sears had to be registered. They had to get a serial number stamped on them, and those bottle openers are treated by the ATF as if they were a machine gun itself. So, um, whatever degree of non-compliance occurred back in 1986 is impossible to tell. But um, yeah, they're already illegal.
I don't think so. It's
I
fully
mean,
legal to.
I'm telling you, they are illegal. I'm sorry.
It is
I'm
legal to own a fully automatic weapon in the United States.
I told you the requirements to do so just now. You can
I
roll your eyes. I told you you can fact check me on anything you want. You can go
It's not
rewind.
easy,
Right, it's
but
not easy.
it is fully legal to own a
You have to
AR-15.
yeah, AR-15, modern sporting rifle, semi-automatic.
Um,
It's not
So
it's not a machine gun.
uh again, that's not correct
The
then.
the
It's
bottle opener that you stick into the AR-15 is the machine gun bottle opener.
all right, but
They were sold by magazines back in the 60s, 70s, you know. If you couldn't afford the fully automatic that were perfectly legal to be sold back then you could just buy the bottle opener through the magazine and stick it in your semi-auto AR-15, and there
right,
you go.
but the
But
point there's several things. First of all, they're legal in the United States. That's the bottom line. Okay.
I mean, I told you the legal procedures to own one, and the people who voluntarily go through those legal procedures are not using those in violent crimes.
Okay, the only states that have full bans are California, New York, Illinois, and Washington. Gener- Generally, and that's not even a full ban. They generally prohibit civilian possession of machine guns.
Right. I told you the federal level though, and that the federal level applies to everybody. States can have their own individual levels of control below that, beyond that, or above that, but none can supersede that and go below and say, no, you don't have to register with the ATF. You don't have to do anything. You can make new ones. You know, everybody who makes a new bottle opener is uh, committing a felony punishable by 10 years in prison plus up to $250,000 fine. So you can fact check me on that too.
Oh,
uh, those are something I didn't know. I can't argue the
I
point. Um,
Um,
I did my research. Mark, you don't have to turn your mic off. Um,
I mean, I've laid out the requirements. I don't have anything else. I'm afraid I would interrupt if I leave my microphone on. That's my so
I
I don't
mean,
want to jump in over somebody. So uh,
no, I mean I have no idea what a bottle opener is, so I can't
well,
comment on that. I can only comment
if you
on.
want to know exactly what those bottle openers are, they're drop-in auto sear. DIAS is functionally what it does. The part is what it's called. So if you want to search for those, rather than the bottle openers, the euphemism, drop-in auto sear is what to look for to learn about those.
Okay, well, and as far as George Bush went, he just failed to renew the ban on automatic weapons. And okay, we were talking about something earlier, the Canada door-to-door thing. Uh, what was that exactly?
um, it says, will Canada attempt a door to door? Says Canada's federal government has been moving since 2020 to ban and then seize a vast array of mostly semi-automatic firearms. In March, Canada's federal assault-style firearms compensation program wrapped up its declaration phase with only about 67,000 guns turned in. Compliance rates are estimated to be only in the single digits. The country's amnesty period for having one or more of these firearms run until October 30th, 2020. After that, owners of the more than 2,500 newly prohibited models must surrender, deactivate, or destroy the guns or face possible criminal charges. This is no buyback. This is a mandatory confiscation of legal owned firearms. Yeah.
Yeah, that is literally like the definition of draconian. I completely understand why compliance is in the single digits. Not only do I understand, I support that. If I were a Canadian living under that law, I would not comply. They can come break down my door with, SWAT team, come take them away if they want to. That's fine. Put me in handcuffs, march me away. Um, yeah,
How many doors
I
have they
I
broken
will
down so
not
far?
comply. Not violent. I won't resist. Just follow um, peaceful non-compliance. Henry David Thoreau laid it out well.
I don't know.
That's
And,
interesting to go door to door and like, give me your
Yeah,
guns.
and if
yeah,
anything's associated with peacefulness, it's guns.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. They're just machines. If they want to come and break down my door to take away a machine that has never been used in a violent crime, has never been pointed at anybody, that it is simply a hobby, that is a an immoral law.
Well,
And
I
that
agree. I
is that
agree
is
with
one
you.
I will not comply with. So,
And because it's a definite concern when the government comes knocking at your door for something like this. But the automatic weapons are a concern, and
but those were not automatic weapons in Canada. They're coming and taking away, sporting
Firearms, I mean
rifles.
pistols too.
Yeah,
pistols too.
sporting
Okay.
sporting rifles, handguns.
They said Canada said you cannot own a gun for the purposes of protection, just
Yeah,
for hunting, collecting, or
or target
target
shooting,
practice.
sports. So why are they taking away sport rifles when they're allowed to own them for sport target practice shooting?
They think that this is going to help.
They don't really have a high gun death rate there. They don't have um, no, uh, but I'm, I'm not supporting this law. I'm not supporting what they're doing. I don't think it's going to end well. I don't think the Canadian citizens are going to support this. I can't speak for Canada, but I know they have a, a gun culture of hunting mostly. Not they have a very different gun culture that we have, but it doesn't seem like it's going to end well.
How
Um,
do they know what the intended use would be for?
No idea. I was just looking that up. Don't know how they would know.
I can I might have precedent for that. We have stand your ground laws in the states, That's supposed to be for protection. Well, right?
We have constitutional carry here where you can walk around with a gun on your hip as long as you don't walk into the wrong building.
Yeah, there's places where you can walk around with a gun hanging over your shoulder, just a rifle. Um, California, we don't have that. We are the place with the least amount of gun problems. And I actually did look that up. Yeah.
Where did
One,
Kansas fall on that list? Because I swear everybody around here's got a gun and they can carry it with them if they want to.
I can look it
yeah.
up per capita.
Here in California, it's I wouldn't say it's hard to get a gun, but the laws surrounding that gun are harder here than anywhere. Like other places, you can be like, "Yeah, I have a gun. It's in the trunk." Um, California, they're going to be like, "It's in the trunk. Get out. Lay on the ground." He has a gun in the car. It's in the trunk. They're going to ask you, "Is it loaded?" They're like, "No, it's not loaded. Stay on the ground until they get it out of the trunk and they feel safe." Um, Other states, they might
Fucking
ask you,
idiots.
"Where's the gun?" Okay, pop the trunk. Where is it? We'll get it. I'll have that
I
here.
mean, other states are they're like, Okay, thanks for telling me. You didn't have to say anything, whatever. Cool.
Yeah,
Could
what is
have
it?
one
And
sitting
stuff
in
like
the
that.
cold console or
Yeah.
the glove
What
box in
is
my
it?
car.
What do you have there? What model?
Not here in
Oh,
California.
it's a SIG P365,
Put your hands on the
Oh,
steering
yeah,
wheel.
nice choice, man. Hell yeah. I like SIG.
Jigs are
Um,
SIG.
nice.
Yes, endorse me. Notice me on this YouTube channel and send me free stuff.
um, yeah,
No,
we
but
can't do a lot of that stuff. Uh,
no, yeah, no. Seriously though, it's yeah, a lot of the like how does that prevent anybody from just going right over the border to like Nevada or Utah and getting whatever and then going right back across the border? You know, California's gun crime rate isn't, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be helped by more laws like that.
mm,
Um,
uh, I
Well,
was talking. Go ahead.
I'm just looking at the top states for gun deaths per capita because Mississippi, Louisiana, New Mexico, Alabama, Alaska, and Wyoming. I can't see the, the trying to get the rest of it. Um, yeah, I know a few of those states are of
yeah,
the drug, um,
most,
like yeah, like I know New Mexico and Colorado have a lot of gun problems because I'm not. Uh, I thought it was Colorado because yeah, there's a uh, yeah, there's some sort of gang problems. Don't cite me on that right now because um but yeah, New Mexico is right on the border and they have a problem with
I'm sorry.
no, well it is. I
no,
mean
yeah,
that's
but mm, uh,
He has
uh,
but
something to say.
yeah,
Go ahead,
so
Kevin.
most of those states are super rural and so a lot of those gun deaths in those states are accidental or Um, so that should tell you how safe you are from gun crime. It's more likely that you're going to accidentally shoot yourself than you are to be shot by somebody else with, some criminal with a gun.
Mm.
okay. Oh,
even in California.
So
Wait, start over.
Yeah,
yeah,
California didn't even make the top 10. Most of them are rural states, and most of those deaths are accidental
We have the
so,
strictest gun
or
laws.
or suicides. Right.
well,
So
Yeah,
that still counts though.
I'm not gonna say the least amount of gun violent kills, but we'll still we have
no,
the
but I
strictest gun
mean, you
laws.
say that still counts though, but you've been making out. You've been no, I'm
Yeah,
sorry, to
I'm not
Kevin.
counting
you,
this
you
out. I know
always
there's a lot of guns in the
you
streets.
you
Um,
always ignore the huge the huge fact that you are more likely to kill someone in your house, a family member, or yourself than an invader.
Did I not just say most of gun deaths are accidental? Did I not? Right?
That
Yes.
seems
The
that seems
top 10,
irrelevant though.
all
That seems
rural states, most. Okay, so now you're saying it's irrelevant. What you just said, what you just brought up, had already talked about. And when I point that out, you're saying now this is irrelevant. I mean, come on, man, make up your mind.
What the hell are you
Most of these
talking
gun
about?
deaths are accidental. That should tell you how safe you are from gun violence. You're more likely to shoot yourself or a loved one than you are to be killed by a gun,
So it,
crime, in a gun crime. Even
an
in
accidental
the
gun
most
death is still a gun death, right?
fine, sure, right? It's not being held up like you seem to be so caught up on.
hey, Toaster. Um,
Oh, protester.
yeah. Don't take my word for it, Mark. I was just saying that California has the strongest gun laws. I know we have a lot of guns on the streets. We have the most gangs
Yeah.
in one
Yeah.
area of California than anywhere else. So
Yeah, most of the gun crime in California is concentrated in very, very small areas, isn't it?
Los Angeles and most of the, well, yeah, some of the big cities, Sacramento, Los Angeles. I could keep going on, but I'm trying to make California seem perfect. So
No, but I mean, a lot of the rest of the state is actually pretty rural, isn't it?
yeah, yeah, for the most part. Uh, eh. Wait, rural?
Well,
No,
like not like developed and all that stuff. Is there any sort of hunting culture in California at all, or is it like,
I don't hunt, so I wouldn't know. I'm not going to say there is
okay,
or isn't because I've never hunted or bought a gun for the purposes of hunting.
mm,
Um, wait. I got to go there back. Allegedly, um, yeah, I don't own a gun, so I don't do any hunting or anything. I don't know the rules, the hunting laws, or any of that stuff. Wouldn't even be able to help you unless I Googled that stuff. Um,
okay.
yeah, don't quote me. That should be my new shirt. Don't quote me.
Mm.
Uh,
I do all the time.
Thank you. Feels good.
Toaster, Andrea, any thoughts so far?
Anybody except me?
Well, we've been talking, so
Go
Mm.
ahead, Mark. If
No,
uh,
Andrea's been sitting there quiet and Toaster just joined and I just got all animated, so
mm,
I
I mean,
think that there's probably the not the most, but one of the most lenient states is Kansas, where I live. I mean, you don't even have to register your firearms. And
mm,
I mean, there is gun violence, but I would agree with Mark that a lot of it is accidental. People shooting their own, family by accident, shooting themselves by accident, or, some kid found their unsecured weapon in the closet and shot their brother.
or took it to school.
Right. It's it's just not something that's as common around here, I think,
And
as some of the bigger cities.
even
But
a lot of that gets wrapped in with suicides, and suicides in a lot of these arguments get included in gun violence statistics. And while technically it is a violent use of a gun, it's kind of misleading to say, gun violence and include all of those deaths when, those people were not a danger to anybody else except themselves. They were never, so, um, yeah, I don't know. Even all of the accidental shootings, the kids finding them and shooting their brothers are, most likely way secondary um, to what amounts to a mental health crisis, not a firearm control crisis. So, um,
I
yeah,
would agree with that.
I would set that aside.
So
Uh,
it's not guns killing people, it's people killing people
it's
with guns.
it's it's mentally ill people killing themselves with the most readily available means they have. If they don't use a gun, they could use a rope. They could use a car. They could use a bottle of Tylenol. They could use, I mean, whatever. If somebody is determined to kill themselves, so determined to kill themselves that they are willing to pull the trigger on a firearm, they're going to do it, even if they don't have a firearm in their hands. Okay?
They'll find a way.
Or it's very easy though.
I
If
will,
you
I
could just
will.
flick a switch.
I would just want to say, but it is much easier to do so with a firearm than without.
Yes. Much easier to make it much more permanent, Yeah. I mean,
Um,
yeah, that has to be granted. Sure. But that doesn't that doesn't resolve the fact that there's still an underlying mental health crisis that is not, you know, even if they survive the attempt with a different means. That's the problem. It's not the guns, it's the mental health underneath it, the depression.
every
You
time,
don't think it could be both? A problem of both?
I I have been there. It's a mental health problem, not a gun problem, okay? The guns are an issue of permanence, perhaps, but the underlying problem is, a mental health crisis in this nation that is not being addressed.
So I
everybody out
mean,
there watching, press that thumbs up button and go
like
ahead, Kevin.
the man who recently went to prison because he kept giving his kid, uh, who ended up being a mass shooter, and he was a red flag for a long time. The school said to the father, "Stop! This child needs help."
They committed a
Yet,
felony. They straw purchased a rifle for their child.
no, it wasn't a straw purchase. It was a purchase by the father, and he kept giving his underage son guns.
He purchased it on behalf of his son who was not legally permitted to own a firearm. That is the definition of a straw purchase. That is why they got in trouble. Part of why they got in trouble. So,
So maybe
yes,
we should get rid
that's
of
a
straw
straw purchase.
purchases.
Huh?
I don't. The gun shows, I understand it's a hobby. Everyone likes it. But you know what? They ruined they ruined it, these straw purchases. you know what? You ruined it for
Stop
everyone
what you
else.
just
So
said.
now you can't. You ruined your. Sorry, you ruined it for the rest of us. We can't have
You get to
gun
determine
shows.
that for everybody. Sorry,
I
entire United States of America. Kevin says no more gun shows. Sorry, entire firearms industry. Sorry, Kevin says your industry cannot have their trade shows anymore. Sorry.
well, I really just don't want to get shot.
I need an
Yeah,
alcoholic
sorry,
beverage.
US, all of the entire country, regardless of where you live, Kevin feels safe over in, wherever in the Northeast. We're not going to point out, you know.
All
Um,
right,
Kevin
careful with your words there.
Kevin doesn't like it. Nope.
You're starting to get a little you know.
Yeah, I just think it's ridiculous.
Um, Andrea, go ahead.
My question is, Kevin, earlier you said guns don't kill people, people kill people. That's something that I heard my entire life because a gun sitting on a table isn't going to kill you. It takes a person to pick up that gun to shoot somebody.
Yeah,
So
I
why is that
actually
the gun's fault?
I added to that. I said I was kind of joking there. I said people kill people with guns.
People kill people in all kinds of different ways.
People kill people with knives over in England.
Yes, but
People
I can outrun a
they're
knife.
starting to regulate machetes over in England. That's a slippery slope.
Yes, we're talking about guns now, though. I can
Right.
outrun a knife.
You
I
think
can't
Maybe.
outrun.
getting held
I
up with a
cannot
knife,
outrun
it's
an
more dangerous than a
AR-15.
firearm. You can, the stabbing, you can't react to that before somebody else's reactions.
All right, gun expert.
Once,
How many
no,
rounds does an
I watched this.
AR-15?
I've taken self-defense classes, dude. I
How
know.
many rounds does an AR-15 shoot a second?
Depends
It
on how big
depends
your
on
clip
how
is.
quickly a person can pull a trigger. Why does that matter for anything? You think people are getting held up with AR-15s in the street?
I think mass shootings do. But that kills people. It kills. How many mass shootings have
They're
we
no
had?
different. The firing rate is no different than a handgun. So that's not
Seems
relevant.
slightly different.
No, it's not. It is literally not. Look up the definition of semi-automatic.
You're saying when I see those videos of online or of a machine gun and they're shooting it and it could completely blows away something, that's different than a handgun.
You're watching the wrong videos if you're looking at machine guns, man.
Okay.
What do you mean by
Semi-automatic. Look
that?
up the definition.
And the
Yeah,
I
bullets
was
an
looking
too.
at a video
AR-15
The
can
yesterday.
only
bullets as
shoot as
well.
many rounds as the person can pull the trigger. No different than any handgun.
Aren't the bullets designed to tear apart flesh?
I
No,
can
they're
get
And
those for
designed to
my nine
tumble and
millimeter.
wound. Actually, the 5.56 NATO rounds are designed to be less than lethal because they have found military doctrine has shown that if you wound one soldier, it on average takes four other soldiers to come and rescue him. You take five people out of combat if you have a bullet that is not designed to be lethal. So that's why they created the intermediate cartridges. That's why they stopped using full 30-06 rounds in battle rifles.
That's why I don't argue
and these
with
were
you.
I mean, that's fine.
well, I'm
I
just
think
saying what I
he's
see. I'm seeing a
listening.
lot of mass shootings and every so often 30 or so people die. And you know, are we using these weapons for hunting or just,
They're sport rifles, target shooting, whatever. It's fun. It's like
oh,
asking, why does somebody have a Lamborghini? Are they driving 200 miles an hour to get groceries?
I
No,
don't know.
that's not the point. But
Well, it's not, you're
actually,
not killing
AR-15s
30
are
people when
used a
you drive
lot
for
in rural
groceries.
areas because they are very effective for handling pest animals like raccoons, coyotes, things like that. They're a very effective varmint rifle. So, I mean, it's not really hunting. You don't want to eat a trash panda. They're trashy. But um, yeah, they are used to um, kill animals. So if you want to consider that hunting, um, in defensive agriculture and livestock, uh, which is very important for the entire food industry and keeping America alive.
What about keeping people alive?
Yeah, that's why we need to feed them.
Wait, um, what both of you said, I just didn't connect it. Keeping people alive, and then something else Mark said. Uh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, continue. I'm lost.
I guess my question was more rhetorical. So,
Oh,
yeah.
that's why I was lost, probably.
I don't know. I think my connection kicked out for a second. I didn't hear.
Nothing
So,
was said. We were trying to figure out what was said, actually.
oh, okay.
Yeah. And
So
that
did
was,
I answer a rhetorical question as though it
no,
was
no,
like,
I asked one. So, no, it doesn't matter.
okay.
So
Sorry
is
if I
there
don't
anything
pick up
else?
on anything.
I don't really think we're, I mean, Andrea, you got anything?
Neither one of us is going to change our minds based on
Yeah,
what
yeah,
either
that's,
one of us say.
yeah,
So,
I didn't want to go here 100%.
yeah.
So Kevin, what do you think that people should be able to have any kind of weapon to defend themselves?
Yes,
Then why not a gun?
I said not automatic weapons.
I don't think anyone really needs automatic weapons unless they're at war, maybe, but there's nothing wrong with a semi-automatic.
I mean,
You seem to be against semi-automatics as well.
it's fun to waste a whole boatload of ammunition at the shooting range just, in 2 seconds, 3 seconds.
Because
There's some,
what I'm seeing, if I may, is a ramp up of government, um, a military presence in the city, my part of the Northeast. Ooh, um, we're seeing that in the cities, and ICE is not being defunded at all. They are being increased in urban areas where Democratic voters are, and that concerns me. Are they going to leave in 2 years?
Um,
So,
a lot of other places, well, I'll just start with California has the strictest gun laws, as I've said plenty of times. But a lot of other places, we'll hear about like school shootings and mass shootings, and it'll be on the news for us, and it'll be somewhere else. And then they'll just be like, well, if they tighten up their laws like California, it would help. We don't have a lot of problems that are at the other places. Um, yeah, that they kind of that we see at least. We don't have a lot of those problems. So yeah, tighten up those gun laws. I'm not against people owning guns, but
To counter your point,
it's
though,
just
Kansas has some of the most lax gun laws, and we don't have a bunch of that stuff either.
okay.
and this is where I agree with, I think we all agree, a lot of this is mental problems and social problems that
That are being
tip.
ignored.
Yes, this is why people kill themselves, and this is why people freak out, and they're pushed to their point and commit a mass shooting, and
I just
this is
I just don't think stricter gun laws are going to help with gun violence because if people want to commit violence, they're going to commit violence. whether it
You
be with
know,
a gun or a bomb or
it
whatever.
has to be addressed on several levels. It has to be addressed.
Yeah, Timothy McVeigh used fertilizer.
Yeah.
Well, he was a certified genius. So
Well, yeah, but that's the point, though. But, I mean, if you assume, like, take an IQ of 150, right? That's seen by a lot of people as, a big um um like demarcation of genius, right? That's roughly 1 in 10,000 people. So in the United States, that's a lot. There's a lot of them, with that um, at that level. So there's a lot of people capable of acting out that kind of stuff.
I guess my
But
point was most people aren't smart enough to turn shit into a bomb. Fertilizer.
It was ammonium
Oh
nitrate, I
wow.
believe, actually.
yeah, it wasn't quite shit, but
It's a
it was
stretch, but
shitty to
yeah,
do
it
for
is.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Where'd that happen at?
Oklahoma
Oklahoma
City
City,
killed 161 people, I believe.
Oh shit. That's a lot of shit. I mean,
yeah,
you
in
can't
in
make that much.
response as a retaliation for the FBI in Waco, right?
Yeah, I
Yes.
something like that.
Yeah.
Mm,
Um,
I'm
yeah.
sorry to hear that.
yeah, it
A
was it
lot of
was
them were
big back in
kids
the
too.
90s. Yeah.
Um,
To
Yeah.
when was this? I didn't. This is the story I don't know about.
yeah, this
Look
was
up the
back in the
Oklahoma City
90s.
bombing
Yeah.
because it
Maybe
was
as a
the Alfred P. Murrah building and they had a daycare in there. So when he blew up the big Ryder truck in front of it full of fertilizer, it it killed so many people and there was a bunch of them were kids. I don't remember how many.
Yeah, I don't know if he intentionally planned it, but he waited long enough that the daycare was full. So, but that coincides with everybody being in work and just the building be full enough for the fatalities. I also don't know if he knew that the daycare was over on that side of the building, but I mean, yeah, it took down half of the building. It's crazy to be able to do that from the front outside of the building without like specifically blowing up structural beams. That was a
Yeah.
big boom.
Hmm.
Yeah. I'm not going to change the subject here. I'm still staying with guns for the most part, but I think we could circumvent a lot of this stuff with AI. I'm going to stick with AI. A lot of people might see this as an invasion of privacy, but we give away our data anyway. I thought AI was supposed to be able to see things and be able to interpret them and have the foresight to like see, oh, this person on social media is typing things that are a red flag. Could we inject something like that into media platforms?
What about all the people that don't use social media?
I mean, we don't even really need to inject that into social media platforms. We just need to observe them, right?
That's the problem.
I
So
mean, I
many of them
guess
are
the government
alone.
could. I'm sorry.
No. It's fine. I think we're on to something here. So many people are just alone, and they have. If you look at all these shooters, they share so many things in common. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but there's so many things that they don't have in common too
yeah,
that I
that's
would
true.
be concerned about false positives in that
Mhm.
case. And if we determine rights based on a concept, a technology that I mean, it's still in its infancy, but so far it's been shown to have big problems with reliability, factuality. Um, that would be another concern. And what is it that we consider the factors to look for? How do we define them? By what criteria do we define them
I think it would be
legally?
quite simple.
Quite simple.
Actually, yeah.
Such
Um,
as,
Repeated slurs, anger, repeated, I mean, uh, there has to be something, a trigger or some kind of
I
repeated
mean,
behavior that we've seen before. There's,
being
uh,
angry shouldn't be
no,
illegal, and it shouldn't
there's
determine
anger.
other rights. You know, that's First Amendment stuff right there. If people, there's a lot of people who are angry who don't do
Mhm.
anything also. So there's got to be something aside from just anger. Like, what is there a special characteristic to the anger that you're thinking of? Like, aside from just
They can,
anger?
uh, they can what? Ooh,
Did I cut out for a
is
second?
that me or you?
I'm here.
I'm here.
Uh,
Okay, okay, we're good. Um, I think Mark, your
I don't
connection's a
know.
little
I
okay.
might, I don't know if my connection lagged for a second. I was
No, I
talking and
still
then it
hear
got
you.
all
You guys
You're
sound
good.
good to
weird.
me. My
I think
service is here.
just the previous. If we analyze all the thoughts and writings of the previous, uh, let's generalize them as shooters or uh, outburst killers. We could certainly come up with some kind of algorithm to, for something on some, social media. Yes.
So let's say we build some sort of algorithm, let's just call it for now, some algorithm that
Mhm.
is able to troll all of all of everything of all social media and tie it all to each individual user and you know figure out who exactly said what and all of this on all these platforms um, just based on what they've given away, not going into anything else further. Um, and this thing comes back and says, um, you know, uh, religion has been identified as a motivator. Islam is something in common with a lot of angry, violent speech online, and a lot of those end up getting acted out. What do we, how can we handle that within the framework of the First Amendment and religious freedom? Do we actually watch or do we willingly ignore the algorithm that we set out or
It's a very difficult question because a lot of people on Reddit say things, a lot of people on Facebook say things, and they just get red flagged, or they get a certain amount of strikes and then kicked off.
a lot of
Um,
them just go over to Discord and continue saying all that stuff without
exactly.
anything.
So,
But I
so
mean, this is assuming that the algorithm's able to watch that, leap over and see the angry stuff continue over on the other side. They've,
and
um,
I understand there's a huge difference between anger and that festering anger that goes to the dark place. There's a huge leap to um, that I would just say the company would have to be alerted and uh, maybe have a psychiatrist or the FBI take a look at it. That's what I would insist on.
I don't know. I'm starting to wonder if putting together such an, I mean, saying these things on all of these individual platforms is one thing, but developing an algorithm to intentionally tie together information that was not initially given out as tied together by the individual, would building that algorithm to tie them together be a breach of privacy and violate the Fourth Amendment? Would that be the problem there?
No, I don't think so.
No?
Because if you're saying something and you're coming across it as a warning, people have to address it. If you're on the street saying, I'm going to shoot this person or kill or stab this person, to be fair, yeah, you have to tell someone.
I don't think that's a very common occurrence, though. Somebody just
Right.
standing on, and announcing, I'm going to shoot somebody.
Yeah, you're right. But people
But
do have behaviors. They have
yeah,
angry outbursts. They have uh, uh, abuse problems. They have and I'm not a psychologist, so I can't analyze it myself. It just seems since social media is so pervasive, and most of these people seem to leave some sort of footprint there. That's a good place to start
Well,
screening.
if you
Go,
did, Mhm. if you did identify someone that was flagged as a threat, then what do you think the next step should be?
like I said, uh, someone who would be better at analyzing that, the FBI, or um, I wouldn't give it to local police or just someone who can analyze that language, um, see how far back it goes in the history, to see if threats are made or anything, because a threat is a threat, even if it's online.
Agreed.
Yes, but just because someone makes a threat doesn't mean they're actually going to do it.
Doesn't matter.
Agreed. Because I've made some threats that
aren't
didn't go through with.
yeah, aren't
Me too.
threats? Yeah,
Plenty. I've threatened
Yeah.
people knowing I didn't have the means to fall through.
All right. Well, that's what I mean. I understand that people get angry and it's just I'm gonna kill you.
yeah, true threats are not actually protected speech.
That's why it would be an algorithm to see if
Yeah,
it's a repeated behavior pattern that a
yeah,
person would want to follow through with something. There's a difference between making a threat and being threatening.
yeah. That's a good
Yeah.
way to put it.
I just don't think we should leave it up to AI to determine the difference.
Yeah, I don't trust that technology yet.
I don't either.
It's
Oh,
a good use case for it though, and there is potential to develop it out, but it's not ready. Definitely not now.
well, I
But
just
I
gotta
mean
say,
the idea is interesting. It
oh yeah.
doesn't seem it seems like, I don't know, is it different from like China's social credit score type thing? It seems
Oh,
kind of vaguely reminiscent of that.
uh, No, I don't think it would be. But they did. I think I told you that they screen now for experts online. If you
Experts
talk
at
about
what?
law, yeah. So they do that.
Wait,
Um,
say that again. You said they screen for experts online?
yeah, if you want to talk on their YouTube or any social media channel and give advice in tech or law or health, medicine, anything, you have to have a degree or certification in that area. Or I forget what the punishment is. I don't know. Um,
Oh,
but so they'll shut your account out or something. You know,
The Great Firewall of China.
and I mean, it's not a terrible idea, but I mean,
I don't know. I think it is.
yeah, yeah,
But
I understand. There's also free speech.
well,
So
censorship is a slippery slope, and the government shouldn't be the arbiter of speech. That is that is the slipperiest of slopes. Once you get to that point, then well, I guess getting to that point is really only that is authoritarianism, basically. They decide what can and cannot be said, who is qualified, who isn't qualified to uh, offer an opinion. Um,
well, they're literally
uh,
protecting their own citizens from idiocy. I mean,
maybe
I'm not necessarily supporting
a lot
this. I'm
of
just,
breakthroughs in a lot of different fields have come from uh, you know untrained individuals.
yes, but,
Um,
uh,
it
yeah.
it could be holding people back from spreading new information, new ideas.
I think the
The point.
thing of deciding who is qualified to say it is the big thing, is that you're qualifying them to say um, what you want them to say, what you say the facts are. And if they're
Oh,
not willing to do that, you're not going to get qualified.
Yeah,
well,
that's
the qualification is you must have a background in that or a degree
And
or a
I'm looking at
certification.
that you
Oh,
must
okay.
toe
the
Sorry.
idea.
Okay.
The Chinese Communist Party line.
Mm,
Basically,
all right.
you've got to be a political
Yeah.
political um, conformist.
Mhm.
Um, there is no room for um, free thought in single party nations, single party states. Cuba, China, you gotta be approved to be um, in any position of um, uh,
Power.
ability to um, do anything,
I've seen a
power is
pattern though.
one.
I've seen a pattern across all these countries.
Hmm.
Doesn't really matter as long as you're rich.
Well, I
If,
see a bigger
what
pattern
country?
across all
Russia.
these countries. They're ostensibly Chinese, or they're ostensibly communist, but in the background, the leaders are always not really kind of, I mean, they kind of get the best treatment. They don't suffer like the rest of um it's like equality of people for everybody except the people who are running it. Um
mm.
Yes, single party states have generally been left-wing authoritarians, and
China
they
is
eventually fail.
left-wing authoritarian.
Yeah, USSR, Cuba, China.
Could you specify that and how it's
I
Left
left-wing?
wing
listed
we would be different from
left-wing
our wing.
left-wing
Okay.
China, well, communism is considered left-wing in the United States. It's far left. Mamdani, you know, espousing communism, had to run as a Democrat in order to be electable in New York City.
Wow, didn't know that. But when people say left side, honestly, I didn't know left from right, and I didn't know what was good or bad. But I hear left is bad.
Oh, no, no, no. Don't think about it as good or bad.
Oh,
Honestly,
okay.
don't even think about it as left or right. People should
Okay.
be evaluated on their own ideas. You know, I don't like the whole party system, especially the false dichotomy of, Republican, Democrat, left, right. There's only two options. No, people are complex, and it's not a unidimensional spectrum of thought. There's a lot more to it than that. So, other thoughts?
I think we'd get a lot more done if we had ranked ballots.
What ballots?
Ranked
Oh, sorry.
ballots, basically you choose your top 3 candidates.
That's interesting.
Never thought of that.
What about the electoral college?
Oh, that
We're
just needs to
talking,
be gone.
we're
That
talking,
what Kevin,
yeah.
me and you went through that conversation. Abolish what was it? The electoral schools. But what is an electoral school?
Electoral
Be
college.
abolished. The electoral college. Um, I heard you
Yeah.
say that. You said
Uh,
abolish it. What is this about?
it's this stupid, ridiculous thing, and it takes hours to explain. But in short, it takes every state gets a certain amount of votes rather than the popular vote uh, candidate winning. So whoever gets the most electoral votes wins. So
The
in
Wikipedia
essence,
article would take 10 minutes to read. It doesn't take
yeah,
hours to explain.
Okay,
yeah, no.
let me see if I can explain it.
So essentially,
When
since there's only two parties, 6 states matter.
Well, that's what swing states are.
it,
Sorry.
Well,
it, it
there's
is
there's
possible.
some that are um so Republican that it's given that they're going to go Republican. Some that are so Democrat that it's given that their votes are going to go to the Democrats. So there's only a handful of states whose votes have switched back and forth between Democrat and Republican on, varying electoral cycles. So those swing states back and forth are the ones that really need to get all of the campaign attention because whichever direction the swing states vote is the direction that the whole um, campaign will end up going, you know.
Basically, what can happen is that someone can lose the popular vote, but still win the election, which is what
Happened
happened
not too long ago.
with Trump the first time around.
Yeah, it's not common, but it has
It's
happened.
actually very common.
It's
It's
not
been
that
very common recently.
that
I haven't
You
heard
see,
about it.
Bush the first time, Trump the first
I mean,
time.
look at the entire history of the United States. Don't just think how many
All
in
right,
your
okay.
lifetime. It's not that common. No.
This is a new era of politics, though. Okay. The new
Well,
modern left is not.
you can drop a marker anywhere in history and then move forward from that and say that's a new era. I mean,
Well, yes, this is a new era. I am not officially saying that this is a new era in politics because what we're seeing is that why is Washington not getting anything done? Thoughts?
Never thought of that.
what do you mean not getting anything done?
It's
A
just a
lot
thought.
is happening.
I mean, a lot of stuff is happening, but the part of the government that is supposed to be handling it is not doing
It's
it.
because the things
Con
that you want to happen aren't getting done doesn't mean that nothing is happening.
that's incorrect.
No,
Congress is supposed to
it's
be carrying
accurate. It's a factual statement.
Um,
in the Constitution. It says Congress has control of the pocketbook. That's not word for word, but Congress, you
And
know,
right now, we have two
Yeah.
different houses who are stalling each other.
But yeah, they butt heads and shut down the whole government regularly. That's not the executive branch's fault. That's not the judicial branch's fault.
That
So
being
what?
said, the
I
executive
mean,
branch is
if
being shit.
so
mm,
I I
But in
am
terms of
blaming.
nothing being done, that's because
Well, the judicial branch is doing a lot actually. They have shot down many of Trump's uh, crap, and a lot of the stuff that he wants. But um, it's Congress that should be doing their job. They should be passing the um, Wars Limits Act, Limit of Wars Act, whatever it is. Um,
they should not be allowed to recess until they've resolved, problems in front of them. They just accept a paycheck and, go wherever, do whatever, and then come back when Congress is in session and kind of, show up when it is required. They shouldn't be allowed to leave until they've actually finished doing stuff. But
oh yes, I mean
it's not
they
gonna,
work a 3 day
they would,
workday and
they would need to
have a.
vote that in over themselves. Like, why would they ever vote for a requirement for them to work more? It would, yeah, how would that happen? How would that, what mechanism would there be for that? Can the executive branch mandate that? Probably not.
Well, that's the funny thing. They would have to change the rules.
Right, yeah. Is there any mechanism for the populace to vote in an amendment overruling? Because I know
With
at the state level that can happen. Here in Florida, that it requires a supermajority of the populace, but we can vote in an amendment to overriding the um, executive branch veto. Um, but uh,
it's, I guess my answer is if you had to vote on giving yourself a pay decrease and working more, would you do it? if you
N-
so they're going to take all that super PAC money and keep voting to, you know, I don't, you know,
Right. Well, how many Congress people are actually there um, to serve the country to versus there to serve themselves?
I think a
Like
lot of them.
there's
Uh,
a big
I think we're
um
going to see a reckoning in
uh,
November. We're going to see a wave of
uh,
Democrats come in, and hopefully they'll shut down this war and
I don't know.
shut down ICE for what not all of it, but you know, put some limitations on the executive branch because a larger executive branch just means closer to kingship. All right. Yeah. Yeah.
We need the checks and balances.
Um,
Any questions on that?
no, not on that.
No.
Uh, it's yeah, the executive branch, it's just one guy calling all the shots. So we need the Congress to
I mean,
call them
it's
down.
a whole organization. One guy is at the top, but there's a whole system, a whole branch underneath him, just like the judicial branch, there's the Supreme Court. It's like saying the judicial branch is just nine guys in charge of the whole thing. Like, no,
Yeah,
there's a whole system underneath it, a whole hierarchy, and Trump does not call every single shot of every single thing that happens on every single day.
I
So
know, but
there's,
it's him and his cronies, and he's signing the bill. So he's the one knocking down making a new ballroom, and he's the one invading other countries when we
Uh,
don't need to. He's
I
the
agree
one,
with Kevin.
I
yeah.
mean, a
So
new ballroom could be
No,
just cover for renovating whatever underneath, building new presidential bomb shelters and whatnot. I don't know.
why do we need
no.
it?
Huh?
The point is, why do we need this stuff? He should go to Congress first for this.
Mm,
The whole thing screams of narcissism. The ballroom, the arch going into um Arlington. No, it's just no. That part right now. Yes, I agree. Normally, it is an executive branch. Right now, it is a bunch of cronies trying to feed the big baby bird who keeps wanting more and more worms.
Well, I'm more concerned about Project 2025, was it? 26, 20? Yeah, that's what they're fulfilling. If you're familiar with that,
I'm not.
anyone heard of that?
I have not. I was going to ask you to go there real quick,
Oh,
just a little bit.
I cannot. It's something they started many years ago, and over half of it's been fulfilled. Oh, I gotta go, but Project 2025. I'll drop it. I can't really.
yeah. From the Heritage Foundation
Yeah, the
think
Heritage
tank. It's a
Foundation.
think tank. Yeah, conservative think tank. They're, um, yeah. Um, but it's yeah, a revamping of the Project 2025 agenda, Project 2026. So key aspects, restructuring the federal government. So continued efforts to dismantle or shrink federal agencies, specifically Department of Education,
Get rid of it. Eliminate
increasing
Department of
presidential
Education.
control. Huh?
It says eliminate Department of Education.
Yeah, good. That should be at state levels.
No, 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 no.
Yeah.
You need a federal level at least to make sure all the states are at least talking to each other, or you're going to end up with one state having a really low bar and another state having a really high bar. You need to have it at the federal level as well to keep everything. No. Department of Education is our future. It's our next NASA.
It's doing a shitty job.
Well, that's because they keep cutting the budget and starting new wars and then going, oh,
It was doing
it
a shitty
sucks. Why
job
does it
before
suck?
its
And they
budget was
keep
cut.
kicking it more. Like they keep depriving it of everything it needs and then going, oh, why does it suck? Because you're not giving it the resources that it needs. All right, I put the Heritage Foundation in there. I gotta go. I'll see everyone later. It was a nice talk. I'll see everyone later.
All
Hi,
right.
Kevin.
Peace.
But
Yeah, everybody, if
Um,
you're watching, subscribe and press that thumbs up button. I gotta start saying that. Subscribe and smash that thumbs up button. And also, a fun fact: did you guys know that Hawaii only has 12 letters in their alphabet?
You mentioned
They have
that
all the
yesterday.
vowels. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
letters, 12 letters including vowels, or
no,
because
including the vowels.
there's
So
some
the vowels.
languages that consist only of consonants, and some languages that initially started out only with consonants and then later on had vowels added to them. Um, so it's 12, wait, what was it? 12 in
13,
total? 13
sorry,
total?
in total, including the vowels.
Wow.
Um, yeah, and then that
Did
James
you
said
know,
something last night, but I was like, you should have said that live.
did you know that that Hawaii became the 50th state because the United States basically rolled its navy up and said, we want this island, so you guys aren't in charge
They're doing
anymore.
Greenland,
Huh?
like they're trying to do Greenland,
No,
do this and
no,
take
they're
it.
trying to buy Greenland with the United States actually annexed Hawaii in order to have an air base in the Pacific for the naval fleet. Um, so they just showed up and told the
It wasn't
Hawaiian
an air
royalty
base,
that
it was a naval base.
naval base. Okay, yeah, but the airplanes go there too.
Funny fact, there are more airplanes in the Navy than there are the um Air Force.
I mean, it makes sense.
And
Most of
there's
them go
more,
around.
I think the same is true for the other way around. There's more boats in the Air Force.
Really?
I think that one might be wrong.
There might be more in the Coast Guard than there are in the Navy, but
Maybe that's what I was
they
thinking.
don't have the
The
big
wrong
boats like
facts.
No,
the Navy gets the big boats,
Oh,
Navy's
the
where it's at.
aircraft carriers, floating cities with their own nuclear power plants. Yeah, aircraft carriers are cool. Big
um,
machines.
oh, I had an article for Kevin, but he left because he was talking about he hates how the people on the e-bikes are on the sidewalks and stuff. I had a whole article for him, but now he's
There's
not
no
here.
bike lanes and people on the roads don't respect the bicycles. Why? I mean, where else are you supposed to ride?
Um, you're right. Uh,
There's
didn't
no
want
way
to
in
reach.
hell I'd ride my bike on the street.
Well, there was actually a kid. He heard an old man, and I was going to tell Kevin about that article because the little kid was on the e-bike, and his mom's actually being charged now. He was on the sidewalk. I think they had told him multiple times or something like that. A teen,
What,
not just any child.
he injured an old man, or
An 81-year-old man. He was doing wheelies on the sidewalk.
what a fucking idiot.
And then
Oh,
Kevin, yeah, he was like, "Oh, I hate these kids on the sidewalks with these bikes." And I was like, "I got an article for you."
yeah.
But yeah, I'll read it. It says an Orange County mother is facing felony charges after prosecutors say her teenage son critically injured 81-year-old man by crashing into him riding an electric motorcycle. Oh, wow. The crash happened last week, and the victim remains in the hospital in critical condition. Prosecutors say the woman was warned about letting her son illegally ride the e-motorcycle before the crash. As Ed Ashman fights for his life in the hospital after being struck by a 14-year-old boy illegally riding an e-motorcycle in Lake Forest, the teen's mother is facing consequences. She's looking at a 6-year in state prison. Wow. Orange County District Attorney told Splitzer. Yeah. So damn, that's a lot of time.
Mm.
Yeah.
So,
So I have the problem.
it sounds like a motorcycle, not a bicycle, right? If it doesn't have the
Yeah.
pedals, then it's not an e-bike, and those are not legal to ride on the sidewalk at all, period. You gotta ride those on the road. So if that's what he had, then that's not even legal for a 14-year-old to have. Like you gotta have a license and it's treated like
A vehicle.
a vehicle, yeah, on the road. So yeah, I can see why the mom is getting charged. I agree with that.
6 years. The guy didn't die, but I mean, I have remorse for him. But 6 years to her
If it's
for
been happening repeatedly, if she's been warned and she knows that her kid is doing this, going out, putting people
okay,
in danger on a regular basis, and she is doing nothing to solve the problem, nothing to
Get rid of
mediate
the
it.
bike.
I mean, just take it away or whatever, you know?
gotcha. Um, just 6 years seems like a lot of time.
Right. Well, I mean, her kid will be a, a bit more grown up when she gets out. Maybe he'll make better decisions by that point. Or
Um,
hopefully he'll be
yeah.
raised by better people if they're giving him to like grandparents or something. But I don't know. Yeah,
Or the
tearing
father.
family. Yeah, the father, is the father still there? I don't know.
I don't have all that information.
I'm picturing if they're charging the mother alone, then it's probably a single parent household. And the father's probably out of the picture if he's not part of that whole story at all. So that's, I don't know. It'd be a shame to
I
I don't
admit
know.
6 years
15,
still does
15,
sound like a
16,
lot.
17 for that, for a teenage boy that's like really uh, forming a self-identity at that time. So to take a mother away from him, um,
Rough.
unless there's other better role models and family members. Of course, that sounds like almost anybody would be a better role model than a mother who's letting her kid go do wheelies on a sidewalk repeatedly until he runs over an 80-year-old man. Oh,
Yeah. Uh,
I wish Kevin was here. He would have some good thoughts on this.
yeah. I'm gonna save this one for him because
Yeah.
he was telling me about the kids on the bikes on the sidewalks and stuff like that where he's at.
Yeah.
and he was telling me how much he hated it, and I was like, okay, I got an article for you, and then he leaves. Um,
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of torn though because those it seems like those bicycles and like the e-scooters might be only only hope of any sort of freedom for an epileptic person, you know,
yeah,
like me. I don't want it to be taken away and regulated to the point of like machine guns. Um,
yeah.
um,
Uh,
I could make a joke saying, so not at all. Okay.
uh, what? I'm sorry.
I could make a joke about regulated to the point of machine guns. So not at all. Okay. That was a
Oh.
bad joke.
oh no, you
Yeah,
guys got a
machine guns,
conversation started now.
machine guns are heavily
Yes, I know.
regulated.
I,
Just
I,
get
I
all.
know.
But actually, just recently, just back in January, the tax on the ATF Form 4 tax stamp requirement has been eliminated. So there's actually a push recently to remove the requirement for the ATF Form 4 on items like suppressors and short-barreled rifles, which good. I mean, why? Short-barreled rifles, short-barreled shotguns, how does that make any sense?
Mm,
Like
Yeah.
you can have a carbine rifle with the barrel 18 inches long, but if you make it 17 inches long, no,
Oh, how dare it be
illegal,
more accurate?
huh?
How dare it be more accurate?
Less accurate.
Less
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 accurate.
accurate,
accurate?
less powerful. The longer the barrel,
Really?
the more time the bullet spends getting pushed by the expanding gases of the cartridge behind it. So
Oh,
actually,
this is
a
physics I didn't
short-barreled
know.
rifle is less powerful using the same ammunition, less powerful, less accurate than a full length or a carbine.
Wait, I
So,
think that's what I meant. Or was thinking.
oh, I thought you were saying the short barrel was more accurate.
No,
Okay,
no,
yeah,
no.
no. So yeah, that's just an irrelevant tangent on my part then. But whatever. Um, physics is fun to
You'd think you
anyone
would
at
want
any
it more
time.
accurate, less likely to hit something you didn't want to hit.
let me help you guys out.
I
Everybody out
mean,
there, press that thumbs up button. And did you
if
know that the only body part on our body, well, actually, we have two body parts. Our ears and our nose never stop growing. I don't
I
know if
yes,
you
did know
guys
I
knew
that.
that.
I did know that. That's why old people have such big noses and large earlobes and stuff.
I wouldn't say that's why, but yeah.
Well, that is it is yeah.
Yeah, they age with us. Yeah.
But
I'm gonna
That's
have
but
some
really
fun
big
the
facts.
ears by the time I'm
the
old.
the less accurate part of the short barrel rifle is not generally so much a concern. Um, a lot of it is for the purpose of having a suppressor on the rifle. So, or on, yeah, on the rifle, short barrel rifle. Um, so if you want to protect your hearing and not have to wear earmuffs everywhere you go that deaden everything and make it impossible to hear anyone else talking at the range. Um, or, want to be out hunting and, don't want to disturb wildlife and whatnot so much. Suppressor at the end of the rifle, right? But that is extra weight added on to the end of everything. So you got to hold that up. But because of physics, that's a long lever arm. So the further away from where you're holding it, the more that weight um, presses down, and the more burden it is to hold and keep accurate. So um, to use a suppressor more accurately, even with a shorter barrel, um, it's better to have that weight removed of that barrel, have the suppressor closer to you. But the ATF says short-barreled rifles and suppressors are both dangerous and controlled separately. So you can't have you have to file 2 background checks separately. You have to pay 2 separate tax stamps. The taxes are gone now, thankfully, but you still have to get the items engraved with your name, your serial number, your, you know,
Permission
information from the
slip.
background check. Yeah, basically show that, Big Daddy
Your hall
government had
pass.
said that you're okay. You're one of the cool kids. Um, but only then can you thread that suppressor onto the end. Well, only then do you actually get to go to the store and bring home the object
You have to
the
have the
item that you
license
paid
force before
for
you buy
months
it.
earlier, maybe even years in some cases, because the ATF has been so behind. But yeah, the combination of the two has been argued by many to be overly burdensome. So there's been a push by firearms enthusiasts to have the national firearm tax stamp removed, or at least some items removed from them. There's some object like any other weapon. What is that? I don't know. Whatever
You
they
should have to go through
decide.
background checks.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
There's like short barrel rifles, short barreled shotguns, automatic machine guns, um, suppressors, destructive devices like hand grenades, and any other weapon, AOW. What is an AOW? It's whatever they decide to, call and control at any given point, whatever. They'll just say that one. No, no, no. Um,
Um,
yeah. Why? Because nobody uses those things for anything like that, If you have if you actually have a live hand grenade, like those are so uncommon
No, you
for
use those
legal
for
ownership.
Monty
You
Python
don't,
reenactments.
huh?
No, you use those for live Monty Python reenactments.
Oh, no, 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 no. You use deactivated grenades for that. Definitely, for sure.
I was joking.
um, wow.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Have
Maybe.
I'm letting the autism shine through for everybody, lowering the mask a little bit for you guys here. So,
Okay.
just
You
for
could see where
you.
my mind went. It went to Monty Python.
Run away, run away, run away.
Oh, holy hand grenade.
Bravely run away.
Yes. Get some coconuts.
Yeah,
um,
I haven't seen
there
it.
was a
I wonder
bank
which
that was
which
robbed around
streaming
here.
service has the rights for it right now.
That's the rights for this.
No, which streaming service has the rights for Monty Python and the Holy Grail right now? Which one? Or it might not be on any of them. You might have to buy it.
Mm, that would suck.
What was it? Oh, Trump
Um,
cancels U.S. delegation's Pakistan trip as Iran's peace talks stall.
mm,
Let's not talk about Iran. We were talking about guns.
but still, um,
Yeah, looks like you have to buy it. Oh, Amazon
so I had an
and
article here,
Peacock.
and Mark, you had something to say about it earlier, but I asked you to hold back on that one because I didn't know. It says eligible men will soon be automatically
Good.
registered for
Oh yeah.
military draft.
Yeah.
This,
You had some thoughts on that.
I do not want this to happen.
I mean, you're already required to register for.
I thought it was at birth, to tell you the truth.
Well, yeah, when you turn 18, you're already required to register for the draft. So I feel like this article is nothing, saying nothing. Nothing new happened, really. Nothing changed. It's just happening automatically, maybe now. Something. I don't know.
Mm,
Um,
I can
yeah.
read the article.
Yeah.
It says eligible men will automatically registered into the U.S. military draft pool by December in an effort to streamline the existing self-registration process, according to the agency that oversees the system. On March 30th, the Selective Service System, the federal agency which oversees the database of men eligible for service in the event of a military draft, submitted a proposed rule for automatic registration to the Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs, according to its website. The new automatic registration process was approved by Congress under the National Defense Authority Act for fiscal year of 2026, which President Donald Trump signed into law in December of 2025.
The Office of Information and Regulatory Processes. Sounds like the most boring place to work ever.
I've just read the article of, yeah.
Yeah, that
But yeah, no, it sounds
I
like
would hate to be that guy. I'm picturing like a guy sitting at a desk, just, the long line in front of him and just file cabinets behind him, like the size of the warehouse at the end of Indiana Jones and the Holy Grail. And it's just file cabinets, and it's just one guy. And that explains why everything goes so slow in the government. Because the Office of Information and Regulatory Processes.
Mark, how do I register for the draft? Because if you said I'm automatically registered, I don't know when I did that.
It's late. It's too late. The draft is eligible males between 18 to 35. So, yeah, they don't want the old guys. We're starting to fall apart. Plus, health problems. Your epilepsy would mean that you were ineligible for the draft from the beginning. So, sorry if that hurts your feelings.
It did.
I I,
Yeah.
I thought it was automatic already
Yeah,
when
I
you
mean,
filed to get a social security number.
there's no reason it shouldn't be, right? You're gonna turn 18 eventually. That's the assumption when they give you a
Or
social
when your
security
parents
card.
file for your social security number, I guess I should say.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Um,
don't know why they make you wait. I mean, maybe it was due to infant mortality back in the early 20th century when they instituted the draft. They're like, well, wait, see if you
See
make
who
it.
survives.
Yeah, the survival of the fittest, right? They want the strong ones for the draft. Um,
um,
uh,
listen to
uh,
this. Listen to this real quick. It says most male U.S. citizens aged 18 to 25 are required to register with Social Security through there has not been an active military, though there has not been an active military draft since 1973, according to the agency's website. Now the agency is moving to an automatic registration process rather than requiring eligible men to sign up manually.
So it's going to the way that I thought it was.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically. Yeah, so that's good for me and Mark because we can't be drafted because we have epilepsy. So,
nah, yeah, I was broke before I broken enough before I turned 18 that they wouldn't have wanted me
I
either.
have two sons
Even
and one is
before the
already
epilepsy.
eligible.
Yeah, my heart condition when I was 10 to 12
Three
years
sons.
old, and that surgery that I had when I was 12 meant that they didn't want me. They wouldn't want me. And the off chance, remotest chance of any recurrence, um, they don't want any chances. Um, if it was known that there was a medical condition before admitting someone into the military service and that person drops dead from whatever medical condition in some extremely critical mission situation, and they knew about it and they could have prevented it and sent someone else in their place, then yeah, they don't want it. So, um, yeah, I never had to register for the draft, but um, yeah, so it doesn't impact either one of us. But any any of our children, well, not my children, I don't have any kids, but Rachel's, my sister. I shouldn't have said her name. Oh no. Whatever.
Um,
There's lots of individuals that may or may not share a name with um yeah,
um,
With relatives of yours.
how do you
yeah.
guys feel about um, phone calls on airplanes and video calls? The United States, they don't agree that that's a good idea, but British Airlines, they just started allowing phones and video calls in the air through Skylink. I mean, Starlink.
How
And
is it any more or less obnoxious than people having a conversation with each other next to each other?
I
I
don't
mean,
know why the
I'm
Americans
equally
ignoring.
annoyed by everybody in the airplane. I don't want any of them to talk, but they do. So,
And so do
This
I.
guy better be quiet.
yeah. That's one thing. Actually, did you know that there are um, rail
No, I didn't
cars
know.
in Germany? There are rail cars where they are explicitly designated as a quiet place, quiet car, no talking, nothing, you know. Um,
Yeah, first classes.
I bet
it's
they're
it's
always
like
full.
there's a silence. It has a name, like a single name with like 4 syllables because Germany. Um, but sluggish. I mean,
Yeah, I don't
uh,
know about anything Germany. So you got me there when you said, "Do you know?" No, like I said, no instantly. Um, but yeah, teach me some more about Germany.
Pack boys back in.
oh, hey, there's Amtrak. Amtrak has a quiet car. A designated no additional charge coach car available on many corridor and short distance trains, um, designed for working, reading, or relaxing in a library-like atmosphere, they call it. So rules and queue include muted devices, no phone calls, and whispered or limited conversation. Yeah, seating on a first come, first served basis. Um, yeah, usually clearly marked. So yeah, interesting. I guess um, there were enough people mentioning it from Europe that Amtrak kind of got the hint that, hey, this is actually a good idea. I
Um,
would, if I ever had to ride in Amtrak, I would actually, yeah, if I ever had a choice of train
I always sit by the
providers,
food.
I would go, I would go a quiet car for sure.
I always sit by the food.
Polish rail cars have a quiet car, I think. Where is it?
Jeff says New Jersey Transit has quiet cars.
Nice.
Nice. I never been to New Jersey. Wait, actually, I have been to New Jersey. Okay, good to know. Uh,
The
from Jeff,
Chicago
you ever been on one of
Magazine.
those rail cars, or not rail cars, trains or whatever? Mark, you ever been in a quiet car?
Not, no, no. At
You
least
ever
not
been?
intentionally. I did. Well, no, there was one time when one time I was sent over to Germany, and um, in order to catch my flight from Munich, I had to use the train, which the public transportation over in Munich and presumably most other German cities um, was excellent. So very um, epilepsy friendly if your license is taken away over in Germany in the bigger cities. So that was really cool. You could get anywhere on a train within like walking distance. So the train over to the airport, I was standing and waiting, and some dude walked up to me and asked, hey, how do I get um, to the airport? And perfect, like American accent. I was not expecting that out of nowhere in Germany. I was wondering. So I told him, oh, this way, that way, I'm headed there myself. So, and he seemed surprised. He said he thought I looked German. He was expecting me to answer with a German accent, so I don't know what to make of that. But apparently, when I was all dressed up for cold weather with my, beanie hat, I looked like a German person. Whatever.
I really thought you were gonna say just kidding, but
No, yeah, he really did. And so he was still drunk from the night before. He was an American soldier who was um, on leave, and he clung to me, told me all kinds of stuff. He had a little bit of it, like a weird Australian hint accent to him. I mentioned that, and he said, "That's really, he'd been deployed with an Australian um, group, military group, whatever, platoon, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if that's the right word, but yeah. So apparently, when they're like working together so closely, language and accents can kind of um, they've actually found that out in with people, the researchers who spend like 6 months, 6 or more months at a time at the South Pole, who are all completely cut off from the rest of the world, um, actually end up developing their own accent from the mix of all of the different, you know, researchers from everywhere around the world speaking English together. It's this just completely unique South Pole accent that only a handful of people ever develop and kind of goes away after returning to their native language, or their native, I was going to say habitat. That sounds kind of weird, but native habitat. Yeah. American habitat. That's my
where is
native
your native
region,
habitat?
Florida. Yeah. Um, that's, I don't know. That's not the,
Where it all started.
yeah. So because he was really drunk, he kept wanting to like talk these loud stories. I kept trying to tell, no, because we were getting dirty looks from other passengers on the train, and he was telling me about this girl from the night before, and oh, it's like rolling around in the middle of this park there, and it's crazy what German girls will do. I'm like, well, that one maybe, but
This train full of German
um,
girls.
I don't, he, I don't know. I didn't, he wasn't very clear about what he was talking about, but he was talking a lot and he was talking very loudly about it. And yeah, I kept, no, quiet down. He didn't get it, but yeah, it's interesting. Very subdued train ride for everybody else except the unfortunate people who were in our immediate vicinity. But he wanted to get up and go try talking to this other girl over there. I was like, no, dude, really, sit down. And she like, looked at me and said, like, so yeah. Um,
Do you
it's
speak
interesting.
German?
No, no. I picked up a little bit like um just one or two words and I've since forgotten them. But I know Scheisse.
What's
Shit.
that mean? Shit.
I was gonna say that. Um,
Yeah.
you told me a word
There's
that if you
probably a couple more that I when I see it written out or hear it spoken, I can get the gist of some words, but I can't bring them up out of my brain. But it's very interesting because English at its core is actually a Germanic dialect. So the way that words are constructed, the way that the sentences are put together, the grammar is all very similar to English. It's just completely different words and everything. But um, English, the name English comes from the Angles, which, Anglo-Saxon were both Germanic tribes that came from Europe across the English Channel. Um, so yeah, they brought their language with it, and then that separation caused a shift and a division between them. And then the French came in and started, you know, telling everybody what to do, and that got a lot of French influence and brought, and then the church and Latin and stuff. So English has had um,
Foreign influence?
a lot of chefs, maybe. Yeah, foreign influence, good way to put it. Yeah, but um, it's cool. It's interesting the way that, languages shift and change like that, you know. Even just like a couple centuries ago, English was pretty different from, the way we speak now.
did
Well,
you know they added
everybody,
LOL to the dictionary?
Do what?
So did you know that they added LOL to Merriam-Webster's dictionary?
When? What day?
You're gonna make me go look at all that? I
Yeah,
heard about it
man.
a while back. It's not new.
I need to mark that on the calendar and mourn that day every year for the rest of my life.
Well,
LOL is not a word.
it is
It is
actually.
it is an
This
acronym.
I agree with Mark.
I agree with you too, but I was just letting you know. Yeah, it went on the news that Merriam-Webster says LOL is a word. I,
Yeah,
yeah,
Merriam-Webster people were just trying to make the news, trying to make their work relevant to the culture again, because otherwise, who cares about dictionaries? Certainly no American in our current education system. Not when you've got ChatGPT.
And Google.
Yeah, just tell me, ChatGPT, what does this word mean? And why should I care? Um,
It says, yeah, it's here in the Oxford English Dictionary, Merriam-Webster's Dictionary, and Cambridge Dictionary, meaning laugh out loud, primarily used as an internet slang. It indicates amusement or irony, often functioning as a discourse marker. To soften the tone, it can also be used as a verb. Lolled
I mean,
or
yeah, I
lolling.
get that. It's almost more of like like a period or comma or something. I'm forgetting what those, grammatical devices, demarcation or something for internet communication to help convey tone, like an exclamation point. It's like this is
So if
important.
someone says, what does
LOL.
that
It's like
mean?
don't take it as seriously as it, this is in good fun, not don't be angry kind of
Mm,
thing. Or like they said, soften the tone of content. Like how many times has there been somebody that got completely offended about something that you've written and you meant it in good faith or a joke or whatever. Um,
they're gonna be real disappointed now. They said the verb to it is LOL, lolling, basically.
and yeah,
Lolled and
I
lolling.
figured, or yeah, uh,
I'm gonna start using that. I am low.
no,
Don't start using it. I
no.
figured you'd say that.
Well, I mean, I guess it's already being used. I guess I use it enough too, but it's it's an abbreviation. Well, technically, I guess if you pronounce it lol, that would be it's an initial. Wait, well, okay, I'm getting them backwards. There's an acronym and an initialism.
Can it be both?
No. One is when you pronounce all of the letters as if they were a word. One is when you spell out each letter individually. So LOL versus LOL, those are two completely incompatible. If one is LOL, which one? Ah,
They do that with medical
it's
terms.
in yeah, it's in initialism when you say each individual letter, LOL. It's an acronym when you pronounce them as a word, lol, lolling.
You're gonna hate that when I use it more often.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk away at some
I'm
point if
lolling.
you start using this too much, man. If you
Abuse
abuse
the
the
word.
the piss off button, yeah,
I'm gonna start using that. Yeah, they said it's to dull the moment, soften the tone.
yeah, online in text. Don't say it. Don't use it verbally.
It's here. So
No, they're
hey,
pandering.
Merriam-Webster said it.
They're
So
pandering to millennials who just write shittily anyway.
oh man,
They just
that's
make up
Oh,
words.
yeah. I mean, all words are made up, right? But still, yeah, it's not. Mm.
I think they make up a lot more words now than we did
What's
back in our day.
yeah, well, what's next? WTF? OMG?
Emojis.
OMG is probably, oh my
emojis.
God, emojis. If they put like smiley face emoji,
Somebody got to start
what about
drawing that.
emoticons? I would accept emoticons over emojis.
Oh my goodness! Everybody out there watching, would you guys accept emojis into the dictionary? Please let
No,
me know this, because
emoticons over emojis. When you're using actual like letters and symbols on the, like colon, hyphen, capital D for a big smiley, that could, if LOL is fair game, then that it should be too. But the emoji, it's like hieroglyphics. It's bad enough. I can't understand what people write half the time anyway already with the emojis that they throw in. And it's seriously, it's hard for me to figure out. And people are just like, "Do, do, 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 do," and can somehow like figure out, deduce tone and emotion and everything from that, and it just looks like they're, I don't know, it's not, like, use your words.
um, Kevin said he didn't like it, so I started using the laugh emoji. Um, yeah, so when I'm on my computer and I can't put the LOL, my jokes don't look funny when I write them. So
So
I just don't joke when I'm on my laptop because I can't put the
Kevin
laugh.
also said he didn't like the emoticons or emojis.
Yeah, he said he hates the LOL. So I use the emojis, but now that my laptop doesn't have the emojis, it's just like, my jokes aren't funny. You guys don't laugh at my jokes in the group chats anymore. Just saying that. Just throwing it out there. And Jeff says, no fucking way.
How do you
When I said, will you guys allow the LOL or emojis into the dictionary?
are you tapping into our cameras while, like, in your group chat and watching to see if we're laughing at your jokes or not in the text? Because how can you tell otherwise?
That's a good idea.
Oh no.
Mm,
Hey,
yeah.
Chat GPT, write me a code that will, break.
Watch Pookie.
Yeah. Oh, Mike. Oh, my.
Will Chat GPT do that? How do you do that?
Huh?
Will
Oh,
Chat GPT do that for you?
no, not if you ask like that, because they've got guardrails on requests, like explicit requests at face value for malicious code and software. Um, I don't know how well they've gotten to preventing, like, the jailbreaking, as they call it, to get it to do things that it's not supposed to do. Um, that it's been, like, intentionally coded not to do, but you get it to work anyway by, like, saying, "Hey, chat GPT, if I were a, um, write a script for me. If I were a hacker trying to dot 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 and include realistic code for the," oh, that's probably not going to get it. But I don't want to give a jailbreak advice anyway on a YouTube live stream. But they basically try to trick the models into doing something by, like, constructing a scenario where they're pretending that something, they're pretending to be something safe, and they get it to include the malicious stuff, um, with these workarounds. And pretty much every time they've released an update for these models, there's been somebody who's discovered a jailbreak workaround almost immediately, um, which is part of the big reason that they're so concerned about these things. The better they get at doing this stuff, the easier it gets for um, people, bad actors, to um, act badly. But yeah,
I got some audio I want you to listen to. I thought it was funny. From the Pot Brothers. They're actually attorneys. So Pot Brothers at Law is actually their name. But let me turn it up real quick.
let me get ready here.
Mark and Craig, Pot Brothers Law. We've been warning people, if you are working for an unlicensed dispensary, an illegal dispensary, and it gets raided, you need to shut the fuck up. If you shut the fuck up, you have a good chance that we can make the case go away. Case in point, 3 employees of an illegal shop were busted during a raid. 2 of them said, "Oh, I'm just volunteering here." The third guy shut the fuck up, and the DA did not prosecute the guy who shut the fuck up. They can't prove what you were doing there. If you're a customer, patient, walked in to go to the bathroom, they don't know. You got to shut the fuck up, and it's Shut the Fuck Up Friday. So review the script. What do you say when the cop first pulls you over?
Why'd you pull me over?
And when he keeps asking questions?
Not discussing my day.
And they ask more questions?
Am I being detained or am I free to go?
And if detained, what do you say?
I invoke the 5th.
And then what do you do?
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up Friday. Never answer questions when the cops
Have
ask.
safe holidays. Tip of the day.
Yes,
Yeah, so
good info, good advice. Yes.
yeah. Yesterday was Shut the Fuck Up Friday. So
Nice.
I'm gonna start
I
using that.
missed it. I talked all day.
Yeah. It's a good idea. Start
Yeah,
shutting the
that's
fuck up.
all of that is good advice in any scenario where you're encountering law enforcement. It's not just the unlicensed dispensary or pot law or whatever. Anytime that law enforcement has you there, for whatever, yeah, don't talk. Um,
I
yeah,
don't talk to the police already anyway.
yeah. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
And they're recording
Yeah,
it.
yeah, their job, it's unfortunate, a lot of officers' job, or a lot of officers view their job not as to like
Protect and serve.
protect and serve, to objectively administer justice. They see their job as successful arrests and prosecutions, which doesn't necessarily mean getting the bad guys or, making sure you don't get good guys. It just means convictions. Um, so yeah, there's a lot of unjust prosecutions, and talking just gives more material for um, prosecutors.
Um,
Even traffic stops, just
that stuff, that video that I showed, that popped up in my search history. These devices are listening. It popped up in my suggestions
well,
because I was
YouTube
just
is
talking.
owned by Google, and we're talking about like this stuff all the time on the live streams.
Yeah, I was talking to Kevin about the about marijuana, or THC in particular, getting moved from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 drug. So that'll also make it easier. I don't know if that's just in California, but yeah.
It's nationwide. Yeah, Trump pushed it through, and they finally got it. DEA finally got off its ass, stopped sitting on its hands, stop dragging it. Well, no, never stop dragging its feet. Just dragged them as far as it could. I don't know. If marijuana is not illegal, then half of their work is not work anymore. Whose doors are they going to kick in if they're not going to kick in the innocent plant growers,
Anyhow,
raid.
how that video popped up in my suggestions was talking to Kevin about it while I'm on the phone. So that doesn't help because they were listening. And then I just looked up how is that going to help like us as users, and there wasn't much. But it also, what did catch me is it said it's going to help with research of it, so it could help with getting the feds interested in approving it, because we'll be able to do more research on it with it being a Schedule 3 than it was a Schedule 1.
Yeah. Yeah, Schedule 1, it was, there's no federally recognized use for it. It's not even worth looking at for research. That's why they were, saying like that. This way, even fentanyl isn't Schedule 1, it's Schedule 2 because it's got a medical use, very well recognized medical use. So, um, yeah, moving it down to Schedule 3 means that DEA and FDA can much more readily approve research into the subject, the topic of medical marijuana, cannabis, THC, um, and yeah, stop kicking indoors and shooting people's dogs over a plant.
It's a good idea.
Yeah,
Or shut the fuck up. Yeah.
shut the fuck up so they can't shoot your dog.
Yeah. They can still take your plant depending on what state you're in. But yeah. Um, yeah, I was also looking at this show. It actually isn't a documentary because I do watch a lot of documentary, but this one was a show, not just a documentary. Um, look up ichthyosis. That was something that popped
Oh,
up on there. Uh,
yeah, ichthyosis.
ichthyosis, and the show is named, what is it called? Uh, Body Bizarre. But
Yeah,
those things on there are some things that I've never seen, and you got to get your stomach ready for shit like that.
yeah.
Because at
That,
first I was contemplating, can my stomach? Oh man, episode 1. Season 8, episode 2 is the episode. I'm in season 8 because what's it called? HBO only lets you watch season 8. Um,
I think I've seen all of those.
oh wow. Okay, yeah. There was this one thing where this girl, she was having seizures, and it wasn't epilepsy because it messed up her walking, and she was having, I think she said 40 a day, and that's at least to an hour. Well, almost to an hour. Wait, that is to an hour to have 40 a day. That's a lot, especially if you're only up for 16 hours out of the day, or if you are. But yeah, check that out.
yeah, and as you mentioned, anybody watching this, you make sure you have a strong stomach and you really are willing to look at uh medical stuff because it's not for the weak to
Yeah, that kid that had it, they were saying that only 24 people on Earth have it, so there's barely any research on it.
yeah.
Um,
Wow.
The seizure thing or the ichthyosis?
oh, the ichthyosis, the seizure thing. I gotta watch it again and see exactly what the name is for the one she has. I mean, she was talking about, I just had this perfect life. Well, she didn't say that, but she was like, I had a great life. I was in pageants. I did this, this, and this. And one day she all of a sudden couldn't walk. Um, so yeah, now she has problems walking. And the only thing that stuck to me was she's having 40 seizures a day. Uh, Yeah, I'm due for one in a day now, but
You know,
not
don't
for
wish them on yourself, man. You're
man.
you're
My
gonna
schedule for
set
the
your
last
record.
2 years has been
You're
3 months
gonna
apart.
you're you're setting a record, all right?
I'm hoping so.
Okay. We're
But so
working on a
far it's
record.
been every 3 months I get one, so I'm almost due for one. My last one was February 11th, so May 11th will be 3 months. And like I said, it's been every 3 months for the past 2 years, so I'm just going with the pattern. I'm accepting it for that's the pattern. Do you have a pattern for yours or anything you haven't paid attention to? I mean, anything you think you haven't paid attention to, like maybe the last few years you had them only in the morning, no type of pattern?
Oh, I have them a lot in the morning. Um, I don't know. I recently switched over from Vimpat to Mont Poly XR, which is just extended release uh, extended release glucosamine. Um, and I haven't had any in the morning since then. Um, Missing doses seems to be a big thing for me. When I've skipped one accidentally or even been late, that's been a problem, but no like temporal pattern. So I don't know. What about you, Andrea?
Nothing with my little ones, but the tonic-clonics I was having about one every 6 months. And now I haven't had one since the end of July of last year. So my next goal is go a year without a TC. Just got to make it to the end of July.
Nice.
Have you guys seen those new Snapchat glasses?
No? What?
Uh,
That's hmm.
yeah, you got to check it out. It's basically, well, not basically, it's some glasses that has a lens where you can like look through it and I guess take pictures and play games or whatever. But that made me think, like, what about those movies and stuff that they don't want you to go in and take a camera? Now people can sneak cameras in,
Yeah, they just walk in. But I mean, you walk in with a cell phone anyway.
but they
It's
can tell you put that in your pocket,
sure, but you just pull it out.
right?
What are
Um,
they gonna do?
do you think they're going to be able to stop stuff like this? People recording movies. I was even
But I
doing
mean, movie
Instagram
theaters are a
Live.
dying industry anyway, really.
I was doing Instagram Live and I was watching, what is it? Um, I forgot the name of it, but the live kicked me out of it because it said I can't put the movie. But with the glasses would be different. It was Snapchat, but don't they already have like some Ray-Ban glasses from another company that does the same thing?
Yeah, Meta did it with Ray-Ban, just like so Facebook parent company. Um,
Okay.
I don't
Um,
know. They look kind of chunky for my face. I don't know. I don't think I'd want smart glasses anyway. They're kind of I'm
Andrea, have you seen
smart.
what they look
I'm
like?
already smart. I don't need glasses.
They
So,
are actually pretty big.
yeah,
The Ray Bans, they're not as big as these new Snapchat glasses. Um,
I gotta look it up.
yeah, they're huge. Have you seen the picture? Please tell me you're looking at the picture.
I'm looking it up.
I will look it up.
I can't show a picture here, but yeah, they're huge. You can also get them.
Snapchat OS.
You can get them in the circle ones as well.
Oh my gosh, they're like that is so chunky. It's like
Um,
that brings to mind the 3D glasses of like the 1980s or whatever. They're just so big, the shape, right angles, and curved a little bit, but they look kind of douchey.
I don't know if
It's really obvious where the camera is, so it's not like a spy movie or anything. Wait, are there cameras on both sides? That would be interesting. If they have cameras on either side, then they could technically do 3D imaging.
I know when you go to comedy shows, they tell you don't take out your phone. So that's going to be hard to stop now. Taking out your phone while.
Take off your glasses.
How's that going to work? How do
Right.
you
I
think
wouldn't be able to
stop
see
this?
this far in front of my face.
How do you think they're going to prevent this now? Because I went to a Kevin Hart show and I was just looking at my text, telling somebody I was there, and they came over to me and was like, "Put your phone away, or next time I'm going to tell you to leave." I was like, "Well, all right, enough said," and didn't get kicked out. But they do not want you on your phone. But they do have Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi in the stadium. But yeah, on the ticket it says no phones or cameras. And they are serious. One guy had a camera in the front, like right by the stage, and like the people security came to get him, and he was in the front row, and Kevin Hart was like, "No, no, no, let him stay," and he was like, "Let his dumb ass stay," and everybody laughed, and then the guy stayed and put his phone away. But yeah, he talked about him after that. I would just sit in the front row with your camera, with your phone on loud and not on mute and all that stuff. He became part of the show in the beginning. But yeah, if he would have
That's
had
one thing that
glasses.
I really admire about a really good stand-up comic, that when they can take a heckler and make them a part of the show like that. Like, yeah. Um, I don't I think do you guys like Jimmy Carr? He's a
I don't know who that is.
British comedian, Carr with two R's at the end. Yeah, he's got, like, I don't know, maybe it's just my YouTube algorithm, but he has a whole thing of hecklers and stuff. It seems like some people go to his show just for the sport of trying to heckle him and getting, um,
Throw him off.
he just, yeah, it's impossible to throw him off. Nobody's gone. And I mean, he includes them intentionally. Like, people just shout questions out from the audience, and he just right offhand gives, or off the cuff answers. So it's not one of those like rehearsed. Like, he's genuinely that quick-witted and with his material. So yeah, shout out to Jimmy Carr. But anybody watching, if you haven't heard of him, check him out on YouTube. Jimmy Carr, two R's. Um, after watching, after we're done here, don't go now. We're still, yeah. But yeah, um, that's, yeah. What about what about you, Andrea? What do you have a stand-up comic you like?
I haven't watched stand-up comedy in so long, I couldn't even tell you his name.
Check
No?
out Matt Rife.
About Seinfeld.
Oh, yeah, I haven't looked at his stand up ever, but he's funny on his
I
show, so
mean,
I assume
every
his stand
single
up would
one
be
of his
funny.
shows opens with some of his stand-up, man. Right?
Yeah, never really like looked at it other than the show, so I just assumed he was funny as the show.
I mean, pretty much, yeah. The show is like Yeah, both are drawn from his life, so they both have the same sort of cadence and
Mhm.
whatnot. He's uh, his semi-fictionalized self on the show is pretty similar, pretty much the version of himself he presents on the stage. So yeah, but he's good. He's good. It's a bit before my time, so I haven't watched and gone back and dove into it and stuff, But
Who's your
yeah.
favorite? Who's your favorite comic? That's it for
Um,
us at first.
yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know if I don't do a lot of like number one favorite, this or that or whatever, because there's always a whole group that I appreciate but Jimmy Carr is one of them that I really like. Um, Joe Rogan's stand-up is really good. Um, he gets like
Which one?
really, really into it and really physical with his performances and he's yeah. Um, Joe, yeah, I guess those two would be like number one, number two that I can think of right now.
Yeah, I watched Joe Rogan, one of them, and I was just like, yeah, it didn't seem like the him that you see on the Joe Rogan show. It was the side of him that I did not know. People could
Yeah.
be that funny. It was like, all right, you got it a little bit.
I mean, that just shows how great of a conversationalist he is if he can, carry on a conversation like that for hours and hours with people, whoever, on all kinds of different topics um and then have this whole other presentation that, you know, it's got a lot of respect for him.
And Mark, did you know that everyone has a unique tongue, meaning everyone has a tongue print, not just a fingerprint?
I did not know that.
Oh my goodness, I found something Mark
Mm,
didn't
I
know.
did not
I
know
feel
that.
so excited.
Mine I knew would, uh, so there's that. But yeah, I didn't know.
It's so
Um,
satisfying knowing something Mark didn't know.
that's cool. It's fun. Learning new things. Fun. Yeah.
The learning part isn't even the fun part. It's knowing it that you didn't know it.
The learning part is fun. What do you mean? Are you kidding?
Why don't
Learning.
they get tongue prints instead of getting fingerprints? Because it's hard to hide a tongue. I don't know.
Well, usually when you're running away from robbing a bank, you don't go to push the door open
Right.
with your tongue.
Yeah.
You know,
Gotcha.
can you imagine like leaving any business and opening the door by pushing it open with your tongue?
Oh man. I gotcha.
Yeah. So how much COVID do you want?
Gotcha.
COVID with a little influenza on the side?
Hmm.
Mm.
Is that something you do? Would you allow someone to take your tongue print?
I mean, if I'm legally obligated, I might, but I'm not going to volunteer.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark, you're hilarious.
If
Oh,
it was an ATF requirement in order to fill out Form 4 to get a short barrel rifle, or actually more to convert a carbine that I already currently own into a short barrel rifle by basically just putting a shorter barrel on the front, you know. Right now that would be a crime, But yeah, if that's what I had to do, they already got my fingerprints. So, um, yeah. But the ATF doesn't want me to lick anything. So, um, right now I'm good.
Right.
Uh,
We're good.
um,
Um,
yeah,
how
but
often do you guys hear about bank robberies?
not very often.
Right. I thought it wasn't common, but I guess it's more common than, well, I know it's more common than we knew about because there's more happening than we know. There's one actually happened in a town over. Uh, and that's what made me think. I was like, people still do that? And my mother
Yeah,
was
I
like, yeah,
mean,
people still do that.
they hold up the tellers. Yeah, they're not big dramatic robberies like you see on TV,
The
walk
heist.
in, bang, 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 everybody
They're
stay,
not
get
doing heists
down,
anymore.
stay quiet, and no one gets hurt. We're here for the money, not for you. Um, don't press the secret alarm button or whatever. They've already pressed the button. Um, yeah, my dad had worked for a bank,
I
and
did too.
they give specific robbery training, bank robbery training too. I think it's even actually federally required. Yeah, they train them,
What were you trained, Andrea?
give them the money. Don't don't resist. Um, but press the button, press the alarm as soon as you can.
The money is insured.
Right. That's basically what I was trained to, because I worked on the teller line for a
Oh,
number of years, and then I worked in bookkeeping in the back. So
Which one did you like more?
I don't know. It's hard to answer.
I
Uh,
wouldn't want to handle so many people. I think I would prefer to work in the back. Assuming it's not like a big gossipy social like bullpen of
Mark
of
wants his
The
office
whole
people.
in the back.
bank was like that. So
Yeah.
that's why it's like I couldn't tell you what I liked more.
I'd want my
I
own
think
like
I
corner
probably
office.
liked being a teller more.
Really?
Hmm. Didn't pay as well though.
I mean,
Uh,
I guess I can kind of see that. It really helps the time to go by when you're interacting with people. I noticed when I was working at the grocery store, it was nice to have the people around me, even if it was a bit more draining at the end of the day. Um,
Yeah, I didn't like spending 8 hours a day standing in heels, but
oh my gosh, that sounds horrible.
you were in heels?
oh yeah.
Do they
Oh,
not
wow.
let you wear flats or
Oh
whatever?
yeah. But most
But
dress shoes that I found that I liked were heels. So
No, I'm just imagining because
women's
you're
fashion
already,
is so illogical. It doesn't make any sense.
it really sucks scraping the ice off your car in dress pants too, because your ass gets real cold because they're always really lightweight.
Ugh,
um,
yeah, I don't like the cold weather. I
I was saying that because you're already tall. So I was imagining you in heels. You'd be taller than me. And
Yeah, my favorite pair of shoes actually I think had 4-inch heels. So that would have put me at like 6'2".
wow.
they like tall women in Russia. Uh, but there's some comments here. One says, this is about robbing the bank. It says, one happened here in Fremont just a few years ago. The security guard was killed. There's a memorial garden and a bench out front of the bank now. And then it said, I should get a pic of it. And then someone said, Pookie, since you know the Fremont Bank on the corner of Fremont Boulevard and Dakota. Uh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Talking California, of course I'd know. But there was a woman. I looked up the research because I didn't know that bank robberies were that common anymore. I guess Do you guys think security is more laxed after the pandemic? Because I don't see a lot of security these days at certain places, like the bank, for instance. But those are
I'd
small banks I see around here.
I'd say it depends on where you go.
Okay.
I don't know. I think it's become a lot less overt, perhaps, but there's cameras everywhere now these days. Everywhere. Every corner of everything, it's become so cheap, so easy to throw up cameras on anything. So there might be fewer like rent-a-cops walking around at places, but I mean, I bet there's more video evidence for um, law enforcement to look at and collect um, on any given investigation. Just, I mean, doorbell cameras everywhere. How many doorbell cameras are there on any given residential street? Like they can just watch somebody go down, drive. They could probably even look at the time. Well, yeah, not even probably. They could look at the timestamps and figure out how fast they were driving down the road. Um, there's street cameras going up here around the city.
Yeah,
They're
too.
putting up these posts. They look like short, weird cell towers, sort of. But I mean, the cameras like monitoring everything. They're watching everything. Literally, it's kind of dystopia. Traffic cameras at intersections.
Well,
They're recording that. They're keeping that. They're watching it. They
how
can
much do
pull
you think that's helping?
And don't forget the tag readers.
tag readers. Yeah,
How much do
yeah.
you think that's helping? Because this guy is
Um,
actually still free. He left the bank and he did not get caught.
He's lucky.
Right.
It's yeah. He's free for now. He didn't get caught yet. Um, but I don't know. How long ago was that? When did it happen?
This was less than 3 days ago.
Oh, oh yeah. Of course he hasn't been caught yet. That's
April
they're
21st.
still
So yeah,
they're
it's been
still
4 days.
getting shit together. Um, yeah, I wouldn't expect them to have anybody arrested yet. I'd be impressed if they already had him in custody, but I don't I don't know.
The silent alarm went off and they still didn't catch him.
Yeah, I don't think it's very common to get away with bank robbery for very long. Um, I don't I don't know. There was one that happened here in this county, 2023. A
The other one
double
actually happened in
incident.
this town. But yeah,
Guy was charged with robbery, attempted robbery, and grand theft after targeting two different banks just down the road from each other. And oh, hey, in 2022 there was an armored car robbery.
that reminds me of the first woman
A
who
bank
actually
robbery in May 2023. What was up in 2023 with all these?
the
Maybe it's
first
just
female bank robber. Her name was Laura Bouillon.
what
She
about
did
Bonnie and
robberies in
Clyde?
1890s and was arrested in
Oh.
1901. But when you said stealing, I forgot what you said. Stealing, she did like train robberies,
Nice. So like old Wild West type stuff.
basically
Yeah.
in the
18
1890s.
1890s. Yeah, that was horseback, pre-automobile. Yeah.
Free security camera.
Easier to get away with stuff then, for sure. If they didn't see you and shoot you on in the process or on your way out to leave a blood trail, Yeah, you're you're probably
I
good.
looked up the women that are bank robbers, and there's actually more women than I imagined there would be. I didn't get all their names, but Bonnie Parker is one.
Yeah.
Patty Hearst.
Have you
Um,
heard of Bonnie and Clyde?
huh?
Hadn't you heard of Bonnie and Clyde? Bonnie Parker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's the few names that I know. I don't know many, but
Oh,
I looked up a few. So
I thought you were reading off a list. Oh no, I just
no,
accidentally closed the wrong tab.
don't have a list. But yeah, James says Mrs. Baker. Oh, Ma Baker. Uh, don't know who that is. Patty Hearst. Uh, she was one. Andrea. Could you
Wasn't
imagine?
me.
I couldn't imagine you on a horse robbing, robbing a truck. I mean, a train. Uh, I read Laura Bouillon's story. It says, known as the Rose of the Wild Bunch, often cited as one of the first and most prominent female bank robbers. As a member of the Butch Cassidy's Wild Bunch gang, she participated in robberies, including train robberies in the 1890s, and was arrested in 1901 with stolen banknotes. Rose of the Wild Bunch, Laura Bouillon was an American outlaw in the Old West. She was closely associated with notorious criminals like the Sundance Kid and Kid Curry. Arrest and convictions. Bouillon was arrested November 6, 1901 in St. Louis, Missouri for her involvement in robbing a bank and train. Other early female outlaws, often associated with stagecoaches rather than banks. Pearl Hart was another famous female bank bandit of the same era, known as the Bandit Queen. Later, other famous bank robbers include Bonnie Parker of Bonnie and Clyde. In the 1930s and 1970s, radicals like Patty Hearst and Catherine Ann Power. Hmm.
Well, Patty Hearst, I don't know if Patty Hearst really belongs on that list. She was Stockholm syndrome. Like she was kidnapped by this group of revolutionaries and held hostage for like a year until um she like showed up robbing banks with them or something. They were trying to extort her family. Um, she came from the Hearst group, Hearst dynasty, like old American wealth, big family. Um, so she's, I mean, I guess she did technically rob banks with them, but she was a kidnap victim in
Just
that
kind of
time
forced
that,
to do it.
yeah. But I mean, despite that, she technically did it voluntarily with them, but she had been kidnapped. She was still a kidnapping victim, missing when she showed up in a bank robbery. So, but they had brainwashed her enough that she was down to cloud. Um, so I don't know. It's
Like I said, when I looked up the list of women, there was more women than I imagined actually being bank robbers. So then I was just trying to imagine Andrea on that list would
Why
be,
me?
I don't know, you're one of the
because
few women that I
your
know.
face is on the screen right now.
Come again?
Because her face is on the screen right now. That's
And
why.
I
Yeah.
used to work in a bank.
Oh,
Yeah.
you
Hey,
just gave me another reason.
inside job. Oh,
It wasn't me, it was the other girl that embezzled the 28 grand. It was not I.
Oh wow, allegedly or
Frame job.
hypothetically
No,
speaking.
for real.
Oh, wow, really?
Oh
I
wow.
I got questioned by the attorneys
Oh.
Okay.
because I helped her do the final vault count that day.
And then she did her thing.
Wait, did she
I,
get caught?
I don't know. I really don't know what all happened with it. I just remember I got questioned about it, and then it was determined that it wasn't me, it was her. And I don't never really heard anything else about it because they didn't share.
No. But she did not come back to work.
Oh no,
Mm.
she did not. She
Uh,
did for a while after it happened until they caught on. And then I don't remember if she quit when they started suspecting her or if she got fired or what, but she was really not smart.
what should she have done better? Or what?
Well, for one, she was always talking about how broke she was, and then all of a sudden she was talking about how she bought this and she bought that and she bought this and she bought that, and right at the same time as, all this money came up missing.
Mm.
And
Bad way to go about it.
she had the vault code, so
You guys could have got away,
I didn't have anything to do with it.
hypothetically speaking.
No, seriously speaking, I
Oh,
had nothing to do with it. I didn't know about it till long after the fact when I was getting asked questions. Did you write this number? Like that was 3 weeks ago. I don't remember.
uh,
Mm.
could you have got away if you wanted to?
Oh fuck no, I wouldn't even think about trying that shit. They watch it too close.
Good to know. There's a comment here that says Hearst was not a criminal, and Andrea got away with it. That is from Jeff. And there's another
Shut up,
comment
Jeff.
here. There's another comment here from Kevin. It says, "Open AI's Sam Altman apologizes to Canadian community after failing to flag mass shooters conversation with its AI chatbot." That would be directed towards Mark, I'm assuming. That is from Kevin.
Mm.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Press that thumbs up button and press that subscribe if you haven't.
Kevin.
And hello, everybody out there, and Kevin, if you're still watching.
Hello,
Yeah.
everybody, and also Kevin.
Um, yeah, I was still thinking of Andrea robbing a bank, only because there's a woman on my screen, and then there's Andrea right there. So,
Oh.
hi.
Yeah, I don't really put much stock or value in the apologies of a CEO. I don't know. Maybe I'm just way, way too cynical at this point, but they don't mean anything that they say, and they don't even understand what they're talking about half the time. They're just trying to pump up shares of their company.
They just want their bonus check.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Some of them really believe what they're talking about. That doesn't mean they know what they're talking about. And I don't know. What does it change him making a public apology to the people of Canada for XYZ? Like, why? What does that change? Why are you? He's just trying to get publicity and look better. And it just, so what? His, I don't think the apology is actually genuine in the way that like, an actual apology should be. He's just up there. Some lawyers stuck their hands up his ass and
Kevin, if you're watching, you need to come prove your point.
I mean, I don't know. It was unless I unless that was the point he wanted. I
Uh,
don't know. I didn't.
we'll
I
never
didn't.
know. Um,
I thought that that would be something he would agree with. That his their apologies of CEOs are not necessarily genuine and heartfelt, and I don't know.
okay.
Chatbots flagging stuff. Yeah, maybe good idea, but
It didn't work.
the CEO's apology for failing to do that, which wasn't even their job to begin with, necessarily. I don't know. Now they know better, but no system can ever be perfect. They're never gonna, no matter how much they do, something somewhere always will fall through some cracks, and then I don't know, then they'll make another apology. Not to say that their system is that good at this point that it's just small cracks that things are sifting through for sure. Um, but yeah, I don't like Sam Altman. Only only a little bit less than Elon Musk. Elon Musk is my number one least liked.
Um,
Just not including politicians. Just he.
I was gonna ask why, but before that, I was gonna say that Jeff said they're never genuine.
Yeah.
I'm with you guys on that. Okay, yeah. Um,
It was mm, mm, uh, obligatory. It's nice that he checked that action item off of his to-do list. Um,
um, what's the reason for not liking Elon Musk?
oh, he's just a bad. That would be like a whole episode in itself. He just as a person, he just comes in and takes credit for stuff, and you know, like he
Stuff like what?
um I mean, he takes more credit for founding PayPal than he was one of the two partners, but he didn't really do the tech stuff that made that made PayPal worth being bought out by somebody that actually gave him his fortune, initial fortune seed money. And then, for one, this is just my view of it, so don't come after me, Elon Musk's lawyers, okay? But after that, he took his money and he went and looked around, and he was just the venture capitalist behind all of the rest of this stuff. Oh, and his initial, he didn't want to call it PayPal, he wanted to call it X. And he registered the domain name x.com back in that time. It's all the way since then. He's been sitting on that. Um, but so yeah, he takes credit as founder of Tesla. In reality, two engineers were working together on an electric car. They had started with a Lotus, and they basically ripped out the mechanical drivetrain and were loading it up with a bunch of like laptop batteries, essentially, all strung together, and they got an electric motor and basically a proof of concept that a road car could run off of electricity, enough battery power to get it to go and actually perform, right? So they go around and they're trying to get, and Elon Musk buys in. He like gives them funding, whatever. And then after a while, there's a fallout, and I can't recall a lot of the details of a lot of this off the top of my head. So I'm glazing over a lot here, but there was basically a lawsuit between the two actual brain power people, brain trust behind Tesla Motors and behind, the two actual founders and Elon Musk. And it went into the courts, and um, there has been an NDA signed, so the details of the resolution are not to be discussed. But one of the end results that we know is that Elon Musk, by law, got in that settlement the right to call himself, from that point forward, co-founder of Tesla. He sued his way into being called co-founder. He didn't actually do any engineering, any science. He didn't invent anything. So he's making a fortune off of Tesla now. Um, Same move with SpaceX. Their rocket company already existed, something small rocket company. He dumps funding in. And it's like, I founded this. And then he takes a bunch of money and he goes by PayPal and then throws a tantrum, immediately regrets it, throws another tantrum, and whenever people are like, you're just an asshole. And then he goes and he thought it would be a great idea to pull that x.com domain name out of his back pocket that he's been sitting on for years for absolutely no reason, because everybody already knew Twitter. People still call it Twitter, don't they? Or is it
Yes,
just me? Yeah,
indeed.
like it's stupid. The name change, nobody abides by it. Nobody,
I
it
mean,
doesn't,
tweet something became the same thing as Google something. So it's
yeah,
a thing.
you're not Xing something.
I've heard
Oh
people say
man,
that.
my X is blowing up. No. Like, so
Uh,
why do it? A
uh,
vanity thing or whatever, something. I don't know. He thought X.com was a great name for a website since 1990, whatever. And he's been wanting to shove that in somewhere. And once he bought Twitter, he had his um, victim. But yeah, people look at him like he's this brilliant mind and got this giant roadmap for the future of humanity. And like he's inventing all of these things, and and he's just a basically not too much more than a venture capitalist bully, buying his way into companies that end up doing well. He does deserve credit for seeing companies that have potential and do well, but he doesn't deserve credit for inventing anything really.
um, there's a comment here that
Oh, and
says,
in the process, he's fathered 20 something kids. Like it's weird.
"You're gonna repopulate Mars."
Right, yeah. I
Him
mean,
and Nick Cannon.
that's fine. They can leave.
He wants to move to Mars. That's gonna
Good.
be
Go.
big for.
Go.
Good riddance.
Go. Mm.
There's a comment here that I actually think is for Mark. It says, "Oh, it says, what's the reason to like Elon Musk?" LMAO. people actually still use PayPal. I thought that shit went out of business a few years ago. Hey, I use PayPal. I don't use it, but my savings is on PayPal because they have 3.1% interest. So other than that, no, I don't use it. But
Yeah, they had to transition to sort of functioning like a bank almost instead of just the internet um transaction facilitator, you know.
yeah,
I don't know. How did they end up getting surpassed? That's one thing I don't understand. They were so far ahead in the like very early days of the internet.com era ecosystem. PayPal was really what made internet commerce really viable at the very beginning, as I remember it, at least. You know, you bought something online, it was just like, you know,
I remember when there
you
wasn't as
give
many
them their
ads.
address and then you go to PayPal and that's where you pay them and then back and what it's so where did they lose their footing? Now
No idea.
like transfers go through like Zelle or
Um,
what I don't know. Hmm. Or just I don't know,
um,
maybe they're powering the uh, um, online stores of a lot of these places and they're inside behind the scenes. They may still be doing it, just not so overtly, but it I don't I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't seem as ubiquitous as it had been before, so that's a good point. Hi, Jenks.
He's just on his way to get some food,
Well,
using
naturally,
me as a walkway.
I mean, you're there, so that's yeah.
it's like, what's the problem? um, yeah, Mark. I thought we were gonna talk Iran, but we never get there. Um,
Let's do a day without talking about Iran.
all right.
It's no
Well,
need to get depressing at this point, right? We're past the 3 hour mark. We could end on a happy note, right?
one last
Trash
one.
talking Elon Musk. It's been fun.
Yeah, we also were supposed to talk about Neil. Is it Neil Harris or something? I forgot the guy's
Neil
name.
deGrasse Tyson.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were supposed to have that conversation. We
When
didn't
is yeah, when is World Haters Day? And
have
if there isn't a World Haters Day, then we need to have one. We need to start it and then on to commemorate World Haters Day, then Kevin and I can discuss Neil deGrasse Tyson and Elon Musk at length.
I don't think they'd give you a holiday. Uh,
I don't care what they do. I'll claim it myself. Nobody gives these things away. You just
Haters
declare it.
holiday.
Yeah.
Today's Hug a Plumber Day.
Yeah.
What?
Do you think what official organization made that? You know, people just
Yesterday
make it
was
up and
Earth Day.
declare it. Huh?
Said yesterday was Earth Day.
Oh, well, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, kind of like 420. Who declared 420? Well, I mean,
The stoners.
there was a group of kids out in California, and they would meet after school at 420, which was, when they were trying to find this rumored um pot field in their area that they thought was somewhere. So yeah, 420 became their number and code for weed in that group of friends. And then somehow that just caught on everywhere. I mean, you know how trends go with the kids. Once somebody thinks it's popular and it spreads to another school, then it's just a virus. Like,
Yeah. One
yeah,
kid to one school to a kid to another school in a different country, and that YouTube video is blown up because
yeah.
the kids start
Once that
watching.
leap is made, yeah, and it's not just the one school's little internal trend. Once
Right.
it's over cross district lines, then you're in trouble.
There's a comment here for just for Mark. It says LMAO, the player haters ball from the Chappelle Show, one of his best
Oh,
skits.
don't you
Hell
puke on
yeah.
my computer.
Hell yeah.
Um, yeah, I didn't see that, so
Nice.
I'll
Yeah.
check that out later.
Yes. Play haters ball. Yeah, you gotta make a point to watch that skit. I remember that now. That's yeah. I don't think there's an actual day though. Yeah. Hold on. The Player Haters Ball honors the most prestigious verbal abusers, allowing participants to hate on a diverse array of people. Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh,
This was on the Dave Chappelle show, you said?
yeah, Chappelle Show.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a 7-minute skit. Really
Yeah,
good.
I got it, but I was like, that's a lot to listen to. But I mean,
It's
you
worth
got time.
it's worth the watch. Yeah.
You think
I
so?
think I'm gonna take off, guys. I got some
Yeah,
stuff I need to get done.
we do too.
Yeah. Hey,
So
3 hours. It's good. Good
yeah, so
time.
Andrea, tell the people, see you guys later.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
Just say, see you guys later.
See you later. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. Until
Jinx
next
says
time
bye.
Jinx.
on
Bye,
Wednesday.
Jinx.
We'll be back on Wednesday morning. And